Good morning. How's it going?
No. Okay.
Good morning.
I've changed computers for stream. My mic doesn't like the platform, I guess. What?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, good morning.
Hey.
Hey, hold on 1 second. I gotta fix my motherfucking. You 2 seconds.
All good. All good. It happens.
Well, I got a new. Not. Um, I'm gonna get in and get out this fucking thing. Why is this not switching? Audio. I gotta turn this music down. This is fucking annoying. Give me 1 second. Where's this media shit? There we go. Damn, I should take that short with BT. I mean, that.
Yeah, I saw it running, and I was like, you know what? We could FOMO into this. And then looked at it. I'm like, you know what? And then I started to remember all the times that bit me in the ass real hard.
I know. We should be fine. We never had a close above 61, did we? No.
No.
Alright. Let's see. What am I sharing? I don't even know. Let's see what blocks came in. Alright, hold on. I'm running late today, so give me a second. We're gonna drill. Hell yeah. I am looking for crude for the rest of the fucking year to short.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm kidding. Not rest of the year. Only a couple months.
At least for a solid quarter. I mean, yeah, I think with the new administration, the cost per barrel is going to drop like a rock.
It's gonna take some time, but we should get a push up here. It's gonna take some time because just because he says he wants to do it, it's not gonna be overnight. We're just gonna
Oh,
get
of
a
course.
reaction. But we're gonna let this drop. So I got that going. Damn it, I did not get in that NQ trade. Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for a solid pullback and then get in. But man, that thing took a nosedive in the Asia session.
What thing?
Nasdaq.
It did?
Yeah.
You talking this thing? You
Talking that
that low?
nice 300 something point drop off the earth.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's. Have you traded during Trump before?
Yes. I have.
So this is normal. This is normal. Yeah, it's fine with me. So let's look at NQ. If I look at that drop, yeah, we went to the daily. A line right there, and pop right back up. And
Mhm.
where are we at? Right in the middle. Yeah, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Not a big deal on that one. Let's go back to crude. I want to see if I can get something on crude. I'm looking at some stuff for crude. I want to see if we got anybody's buying. Yo, BT, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Trump is not. And all right, yeah. So they're going to try to push this down. Crude, any longs is just going to be for trade. What I would love for this market to do, which I'm waiting for, is to get to this 70, call it 76. Get to 76 for reshorts. Other than that, if it can happen, because the target is, I have to show a different chart, but we'll do this 5-minute chart. Can you see this? Let's see if this is shown. Yep. The target is down here, 74.61, 74.87, somewhere around here. That's where the target is. And this is for tomorrow's target. If we close below 75.40 today, tomorrow's target will be this zone, and makes all the sense. That's where crude's going. Actually, crude's going to 55. It's just going to take some time. It's not going to be overnight, even though they want to drill and change policies. You still got to get it through. You still got to push. So fundamentally, you can trade it that way, but that has to be a swing account, not a day trade. It's not for a prop account either. Not for an online prop account where you have to close your positions. Things like that. It's going to be hard for you to play this trade, so you have to stick to day by day. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna put this little sucker down here. It's just a 5-minute chart. That's all this is. Yeah, decision point. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. BT. Yeah.
For some reason, I don't hear you very well, but I hear somebody else really well.
Yeah, that's Philip. You'll hear me later today really well. In a couple of hours, I'll have the mic set up.
Okay.
I was lazy over the weekend, so I didn't even want to open it.
All right. Well, just on that, you see what I posted, that chart of crude oil.
Yeah. Yep,
So
point, yep.
you're at a decision point here. If this holds, the chart does suggest that we will push up to the previous highs and potentially past. Right now, the first area that I see in resistance is going to be 76.30 or so.
Are you looking at the 4-hour?
I'm looking at the 4-hour, and then I'm also looking at just a simple fib retracement. If we break through there, then I don't see too much up until daily balance, which is kind of, it's pretty high. It's actually 77.30. So this could be a monster move. On those back ratios I did close all of them. I am going to be looking to get long on crude oil just for a day trade. I'm not going to swing it.
Yeah, that's what I just did. I'm not swinging crude oil not for the long side.
No.
Mm. We shouldn't gotta kick up the size though. I gotta. Where's RTY? What's RTY doing?
Are we going through all the markets? Because RTY looks like it's a potential sell coming up.
Oh, good.
Same with the Dow.
Yeah.
I don't care about the Dow. Dow's shit.
On the ES, I see 80 to 88 as a potential target and air quote resistance. The one that looks most interesting to me, other than RTY, is actually gold. We are definitely resuming the buying big time.
I'll put RTY in tomorrow. I've had a lot of shit that I had to redo. Remember the fire put me like back on a lot of shit.
Mhm. Oh, my coin is dropping. Shoot.
Is gold dropping?
No, my coin.
No.
Gold is 56 is the next target. Then you've got 65 and
There's
71. So those are the
RTY.
three up. Support right now on that is around 47
RTY.
micro. The bigger support is going to be 32.
Actually, RTY. I'll put RTY right here. Hold on a second. Because I'll put RTY right there. And I'll put fucking gold. Because I have the other screen. Yeah, I didn't set up shit today. Let's see, RTY is coming up as sell. Yeah, it is. We got divergence in here, and I'm skipping the divergences. Not interested. But I would love for us to get to that monthly tap, that monthly level. Monthly sell would be a nice. So we'll see. We'll see. Gold is flying. Yeah, gold's going up. Did we have a? Are we in a weekly break? Not really. But we have a chance on a daily break, right? Yeah, no, we're in no break on gold. We're just going up.
Just going up. The cool thing is that the move just started, so the 4 hour is showing that there's plenty of room to the upside.
Yeah,
Um,
I got a lot of room. I'm looking at least 20 points.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
if you flip, let me see something.
I'm gonna flip it back to the norm. All right, so I'm gonna look for a crew to get along again, and we'll see if I can get it.
Yeah, gold is definitely. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see crude oil pull back again closer to the 50-40 area, hold as a higher low, and then try to key in on that for another long.
Yeah. Hey, basically right where I bought.
Because if we don't hold that 40, we're going to go lower.
I agree.
And this is on oil, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
talking
Yeah.
crude.
Yeah. Oh, I can tell.
We trade all markets, but my focus is on oil, and yeah, simple as that.
Okay.
Focus is crude. My main focus, I should say. Let me rephrase that.
Yeah. I normally trade crude around EIA or just afterwards.
Why?
I don't
EIA
know.
means nothing. You
Yeah.
know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I just see the increase in volatility, and for some reason, the direction makes more sense to me then. Um,
So
but
you only traded after Wednesdays or only on Wednesdays?
so after Wednesdays,
So you won't trade before Wednesday? So you traded Wednesday to Friday? Is that the?
that's that has been the majority of my trades with crude, but
Hmm?
I'm still working on a solid strategy to then trade it. But that is something that I would love to work on here in the near term.
Well, crude is okay. Let me ask you this: what kind of trader are you? Momentum, mean reversion, like style? That's what I mean.
Sure. So I'm more of the contrarian. I take reversals. So reversal
Mean
of
reversion.
trend. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Um, okay, so mean reversion on everything or just crude or just in general? That's pretty much your like go-to.
So that is pretty much my go to is mean reversion. There are certain tickers that I will trade momentum on. One is actually gold because I've tried mean reversion with gold and got my face ripped off one too many times.
I can see
So
that.
yeah, yeah, it was not kind to me.
Yeah, I can see that because it's going to be a tougher one.
Yeah.
It trends too much.
You know, I would look at it and I'm like, you know what, this is a great point for a reversal. You know what, you could have like a nice finish to what would appear to be an Elliott wave move, and you would
Oh
take.
my God, you're an Elliott wave guy.
Ah man, I tried it. I tried it again.
Okay.
Appeared to be. Yeah. Appeared to be, and then I would take it, and I would see immediately just a single bar, 20 ticks against me. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. Like, holy shit, that was quick.
Yeah,
So,
I can see that. That would make sense.
Um, Getting a big drop in the ES. We take out 54. I don't really see too much in the way till the 30s.
Should I pull up ES?
I think it's worth pulling up. I mean, not that we didn't hit any resistance targets, so to speak. Well, we're holding the 4 hour resistance, but we didn't hit any targets. But we are starting to come down. The interesting thing is that if I'm overlaying the 4 hour SPX versus ES, um,
Yes, yes.
it
We'll do a
is
dog leg.
signaling that it is almost time for a pullback. The other thing is crude is bouncing, no pullback there. I'm gonna wait for a range pullback, and I'm gonna try to just get in small so that I can build a
Yeah,
day position.
yeah, you're right. I can see that.
solid.
Oh fuck. There's expansion in crude.
Hmm.
Yeah, second.
It's a solid analysis.
Yeah, I try.
No, look, I enjoy looking at the higher time frames, and especially like on the 1 hour. I'm
Mhm.
just like I'm like, please show me something.
Yep.
And
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Philip. Sorry.
oh yeah, no, sorry. I was saying, I can definitely see that on ES. I'm looking that on N NQ as well. I mean, this looks primed to even if we want to go for a larger correction and take out the lows in Asia, but I want to see this drop with quite a bit more momentum.
Mhm. Well, the thing is with the multi-time frame analysis, and especially where crude is concerned, because crude is an expensive contract, and
Mm.
it does tend to move around both up and down intraday. The thing that I find, and it's for me because I'm not a scalper, so I tend to hold my positions a lot longer for duration during the day. I really like to key in on places where I'm getting confluence across a few time frames. And so today, if you look at it, we have a lot going on the higher time frames, both on a monthly and weekly basis. But on Friday, and you were, I don't know if you were around, and we were discussing it, and I had said, I posted the chart and I said, look, we've came up and we've tested a weekly dynamic range quite a few times. And so what I'm going to look at now, and I put on a back ratio on options for the play because I don't counter trend crude oil. But
Right.
what I saw is, if we're going to hold, we're going to pull back into the 75 half area, and that's where you're going to have your decision. So to me, when you have a confluence of weekly, daily, 4 hour, monthly, blah, 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 all in one spot, that's where you have to act. And that's going to be where with crude oil, you're going to endure the least amount of pain because you're going to be right or right out quickly. There's no in between. There's no debate. So that's, to me, I think if you're not scalping crude, is the best kind of way to approach it, is to look for when you are coming into a place where you have a lot going on time frame wise.
I would completely agree with that. You know what? You have all your hard time frames aligned. That's perfect. You know what? I mean, and you're giving the exact Fibonacci levels. Yeah, love it. You know what?
Fibs don't work.
Ha!
So, when did you get burned by the fibs?
Never. Not one time. Not one time. I'll quick thing on fibs. I don't use them. I've seen people use them. I think everybody's wrong. The only person I've seen in here is BT. She's the only one that I trust when she speaks it because it's a little different the way she uses it, which is probably the correct way.
That's correct.
And so and because I couldn't quantify it, that's why I don't use it. And I think I'm more lazy than BT because you have to draw them, and I don't want to do that.
Well,
So I'll just let her do it.
That makes sense. You know what? But that in of
We trade
itself
together, so
is a
Yeah,
solid
exactly.
strategy. Look, it's teamwork.
You don't need to keep, three people don't need to build the same wheel.
yeah.
But on the fibs, and to his point is that I think a lot of people do poo-poo it because they don't understand them, and obviously drawing and choosing what swings you're going to use, which swings are key or not, is very subjective. Everybody looks at it differently. And so the kind of the way that I approach it is that I don't go crazy trying to find every little swing. I glance, and whatever stands out as like a key low or key high, like you can see them very clearly. You don't have to look too hard. Those are the ones I key in on. I key in on breakout points. But the biggest thing that I do is that I like to draw them, and then I like to look at where different swings converge. And that's called like fib clusters. So where you have a relationship of 3 or more swings that come into a certain price point, that's going to be something that you can trade just using fibs, because fibs are not trade setup signals. They're
Right.
they're warnings and expectations.
I can agree with that. Okay. See, now I like how you stated that fib clusters.
Mm-hmm.
That is something I have not heard in a very long time, and I'm very glad you said that.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends trades that definitely forgot which company, but he was talking to me about fib clusters, and I couldn't understand a word he was saying years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But now, seeing it makes sense. You know what? It's not exactly the point to get in, but it's the time to make a decision.
Well, and then that's the thing. And then one thing that you also have to remember with fibs is that each market has a fib that it gravitates to, but each fib is representative of something. So for example, if you break a 618, the logic is that you will keep the momentum in that direction going until you get to the next hurdle. If you get to an extension, a lot of times, like, an extension can offer support or resistance. It doesn't mean that you short an extension or you buy an extension, but it is definitely a place where you say, okay, a lot of moves tend to terminate and or pause at extensions. So that if you're long and you're coming into a 1272, a 1618, that you're going to bring your stop and you're going to start tightening up and preparing to exit whatever you're doing. It's not a signal to reverse your trade, so to speak. But,
Right.
and certainly like what I'm looking at right now, for example, in the ES, if we can break this 65 area and get up into the 80s, you've got a 786 and a 1272 overlap up there. So when I see that, I say, okay, that's if I was going to short the ES today and go counter to the trend, that's going to be the area that I'm looking at because quite frankly, with an extension and with the run that we've had in the 786, it's likely that it's going to hold at least for a tradable short on the first test. Like very rarely do I see price break through a 786 extension overlap. So just from watching the fibs, that's just a nuance that I've picked up from it. The other thing is that crude oil loves 786 retracements. ES, not so much. It's more of a 618. So there are things that if you watch it and you actually give it a chance and learn the nuances of it, it can be very valuable in your intraday, setups.
Wow.
Sorry if I went. I know I tend to.
No. Please,
I tend to nerd out on fibs.
look. Please do not apologize. That was awesome. Like, I'm coming from a very math heavy and statistics heavy background, so this is very very much my wheelhouse. And
Oh,
I'm like to hear someone else nerd out on this shit. I love it.
well, I mean, the other thing you have to, like, so if you're math, then you know that obviously fibs is math and math is in nature and everything, in nature
Mhm.
has a numerical component to it. So it's just, it's just common sense. It really, again, I wish people would give it a little bit more of a chance and learn how to use them. Because I've watched people, use the same, same level and it's, price has pierced it 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And they say, oh no, it's still good. And I'm like, okay, it's not good. once a level is broken, it's gone. You erase it. Like you don't use it anymore. And people
Yeah.
can't seem to grasp that part. So on crude oil right now, we're heading up to that resistance that I was talking about before in the 35.40 area. Breaking that would probably give us a full-on reversal on the 4-hour with targets, as I said, up in the 77s. So there's plenty of opportunity to try to get long. Right now, pullback. My pullback is deep right now. It's at the 75.60 area.
Yeah, that's where I got it too. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting. Waiting. Wish I never closed anything, but I'm waiting. I'm going to try to be patient today.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the other thing is you're in and out more than I am.
Yeah, I know.
And it bugs me because sometimes
Well,
you usually have a great entry. I would just,
I have
if
an
I was
entry of the
trading next to you,
gods, and
I
then
would be like punching you in the
and
arm to
then
hold.
I don't know. I don't. I think I have. I think I have one of the best entries,
Yeah.
but then the fucking I get shot. I'm like, why did I put a stop in profit?
Yeah.
Why?
So what you
Oh
have to do is
man.
what we got to do is we're going to tag team this. You're gonna
Enter. You're
enter.
gonna exit.
You take off your first few, and then I'll manage the runners.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly.
Gosh.
No, we should do that. I should enter for everything, and you exit for
And I'll
everything.
just exit. Oh god.
Actually, you know what? I'll be down to do that tomorrow.
I'll
Like
do
at
it with
least
you.
for I'll enter, and then you just tell me when to exit.
Okay. All
See
right.
how it goes tomorrow.
See how it goes. If it messes up, it's not my fault.
I don't care. I,
Okay,
I'm not
so
gonna go full size.
on RTY, if we can take out the O3 here, we really have no issues until like 90 or 89.22.
It's
I like the 80 as the secondary. Trying to look around and see what else.
I'm gonna take a look at RTY. I haven't taken a look at that in a moment.
You use
RTY on its highs came into multi-time frame, weekly, daily, monthly resistance. That's the market that I was most interested in shorting this morning. Full disclosure, I got stopped out. Oh gosh, what was it? Thursday or Friday on a
yes,
short.
something like that.
It was like
The
Thursday or
third,
Friday. I got stopped out on a short, and my only mistake was not being patient and waiting for the level that I wanted. So I tried to create a short out of something that clearly wasn't a short. Um, so I paid the penance for that.
listen, everybody does it. I do
Yep.
it.
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
it all the time. Yeah.
yeah.
Like right now, I still see fundamentally where oil is going water for a few dollars. I don't know
Uh-uh.
if I want to do that.
No.
You know.
No, no, no. Now that can hurt because that few dollars can turn into 10 or 15 real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know.
Now,
I've been there. I think my biggest loss in crude dollar wise was probably $3
Uh,
because I was just stubborn. I'm like, no, there's no way. And then I'm like, squeeze me. I'll usually my stops are $1. I'll give $1 room. Um, but my stop in profit is a lot tighter. Yeah, I don't know why I do that.
uh, let's see what I'm gonna do with gold.
let's take a look
There's
at the
crude.
Dow
Crude's coming
and
back.
hmm
I haven't
There's
looked
crude.
at YM in forever.
Yeah, don't even look at it. Um,
I kind of
but
glance by it, do a quick drive by, and then continue about my day.
Yeah.
yeah,
I like. Okay, crude is coming back.
yeah, crude's
Oh,
coming back, so I'll have an opportunity to buy again.
I'm stalking it, looking for an entry.
That's fine.
We'll see.
I may have to get in a couple of times to do it. So Philip, what do you use? I know you use EGs, trigger points,
Right.
right? Is that
I
all you?
I
Go ahead.
do. Yep. So no, I definitely came into futures trading very retail space. Very, 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 very retail methodology. I will be completely honest. I started with the full port method, and clearly that doesn't work. So,
The full
um,
port method.
yep, full
Okay.
port, and any trade you thought was going to be profitable, and pray to God it ran. But so, but yeah, so in the recent time, I have been using the EG indicators trigger points and divergence indicators. Now, the trigger points are historical levels, right?
Yeah, I know.
Hit,
Off the limit book.
right. So, your support and resistance to me makes a lot of sense. It's where I can really overlay a lot of my additional analysis on top. Whether I'm using fibs, whether I'm using additional areas maybe of support or areas of interest I like to target potential on a higher time frame, say the 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, or even weekly, provides a lot of confirmation and single tick
Hmm.
entries. Now, the directionality and other components are really aligned with your own analysis. So, like Blanche was saying, you know what? We're coming to a very specific point on the fibs. Should we drop below X amount or X dollar on ES? Then I cannot see this coming back. So taking that into account. So for example, let's say you were to use the TP indicator. The
Hmm.
first method would be the first touch. right? So the first
Oh,
touch rule, the first time it touches one of the resistance or support lines, you could take a trade based on that. But where I think the real true power is in the confluence and in the confidence it can give you to really support a strategy that you
what do
currently
you,
have.
confluence of what?
So a confluence of either price action, directionality, and can either serve as entries or exits for you.
Okay.
So if I were to share my
Yeah.
charts,
Give me one second, then
yeah,
I'll
yeah, yeah,
set you
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah, no worries.
All right, I'm shorting, adding to my short on the RTY. I just added at 410. I'm going to start scaling.
I think this is gonna be a big drop coming.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, all right. Well, this music is this music loud to you guys?
I can't even hear it.
Oh, thank God. I can't. I don't know why. How do I?
You had music on and you weren't sharing? Come on.
Yeah.
What kind of music was it?
Oh, you guys can't hear it? What the
No.
fuck am I?
No, no. Like I feel like I'm going deaf at this point.
How about now?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
We got some lo-fi. I like it.
There we go. Okay.
All right. I think that 35 to 30 is a done deal in ES at this point.
Yeah, me too.
RTY still needs to break a little bit lower, but I still care more about where we came from.
Hmm.
Um,
All right.
okay. So it looks like ES took the Asia highs, and I'm looking for Nasdaq to do the same. Would love to see that correlation come back between them.
All right. All right. Well, I'm waiting for crude. Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, no problem. One sec.
Mm-mm-mm.
Add more to my RTY. God damn it. One more.
Here's my channel. 1 second.
2310.
All right. Now, don't mind the simulated account. Let's having a lot of
I got.
fun.
I have a problem with Sims, man. Do you know what my do you know my stance on sim traders?
I I don't, but let's hear it. Let's hear it, my man.
Oh boy.
I
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna let you show. I am not a fan of sim only trading.
Hmm.
I do not like people who do copy 20, 30 accounts, which is, the only people that can get away with it are the ones who are already very profitable and you want to get some extra cash, go for it.
Sure.
But the people who keep posting every 5 seconds, uh, I made $10,000 today because they copied 20 times. I'm like, bro, you did not make $10,000 today. Um,
Okay.
and I get why they're doing it, and I'm just not. I am not an affiliate whatsoever. If I so, by the way, one thing I will say this: if I drop a link, it's direct for a discount. I do not get any pay for that. I get zero affiliate pay on purpose. So FYI, I'm just not a big fan of it. I like to trade live, and if people are learning, that's fine. You want to pass, that's good. But I think the best learning curve, if somebody wants to make it serious, you have to put something on the line. It's going to be very hard, um, being sim all the time. But let's add you to the stage. And
Sure. Yeah.
so one thing to note is, this is EG Indicators is created by Dr. Levi, and I think another person.
Hmm?
But I know she's a researcher, not a trader. And you're gonna go ahead and show me crude oil, because this. There we go.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start removing some stuff off of my chart. Well, reduce the noise. Okay. So what I'm
Yeah.
showing you
Is this
off the
two
bat.
charts? What's the right chart? Hold on 1 second.
So
How do I make this bigger?
sure. So the right chart is gold, and
Okay.
what I mean what I'm gonna do first is I'm actually going to start removing a bunch of lines, and then we can walk through this step by step. So the lines, I have three colors: red, green, and blue. Okay, blue representing previous days, green is current day support, red current day resistance. So when I start adding in the blue levels, up to 5 days in the past showing the previous points. When you start adding all five, it gets really difficult to then see price action.
All
But
right.
so I'm sure you can already tell the kind of trader that I am, based on the color of the candlesticks, um, and
Okay.
the background, yeah.
It's
But
my rule. Don't even talk about ICT.
I'm not even gonna mention it because hey, we're not here for any of that.
Yep.
So, but
All right, go for it.
awesome. So again, as I mentioned, you have the first touch rule. So when we first came to this support level, off the bat, that came a while ago. You could take a trade off that. Again, but within your own risk parameters. But again, we would like to see this level be support and turn into support, so see price then run above it. Again, same with resistance. We'd want to see price run to it and pull back away. Now, when you're looking for like a higher time frame and larger plays, yes, price is gonna run back and forth, and you'll be looking at multiple of these levels. So
Okay, so the first one is the first one. What's the one above? I'm
so
looking
the
the other
yep.
the non-dashed.
Okay. Yep. So that would be Res 1, the first real resistance point after Res 0. We see that at 78.52. Right? Let me go ahead and go to a higher time frame. Let's say a 15-minute chart. Gotta love Ninja for this. Okay. So we can see that slowly that we've been in a really nice downtrend, which I like to see. So given that we are in such, I would actually like to take a short from here. And again, but that would be more of a quick scalp. But you could then take an even elongated play all the way down, as you were saying, giving confluence to lower prices over the next couple months. But again, one of the main points is these are supposed to be entries, exits, as well as confluence to what you already have, right? It's really to simplify a lot of the indicators currently out there, and a lot of the noise of intraday price action. So that's how
Is there
I'm
a
using
way
this.
to tell the story of where it's going and what the path will be, or is this more of a support resistance first touch tests are the best?
I'm actually glad. I'm actually glad you brought that up. So with these support and resistance lines, you can tell by how price ran through this first support, ran through the second, although it did come back up just above this second support line, which is actually support one. I would still expect this to run down. So we're noticing the pattern. While yes, it did touch off the first off, off the line once and ran, great. But we can see that throughout the day, this is going to continue running down. And if not, what would change my perspective from it being bearish is I would want to see it bounce off of the support level. So off of this first support level at 75.45, yes, it can wick down four or five ticks or so, but I'm not looking for it to catch a couple dollars in heat. No way. But I would want to see this support line maintain support, and then for a reaction in the bullish direction. So when we do get
where's
that,
the trigger long?
so the trigger long would be an entry right here, right at the what is labeled as sup one is where I would want to see price reverse from, or continuously pull back from, and break back through this first support level, sub zero.
Can you make that chart bigger?
Yeah, absolutely.
Make it over gold. Yeah. Okay. I want to see this. All right.
So again, this is also on a 15-minute chart. Is there a time frame that you like to look at?
No, doesn't matter. I could look
Awesome.
at 10 seconds as long as the levels don't change.
Yep.
I don't look at 10 seconds. I'm just saying. It doesn't
right.
matter.
Well, and that's a fantastic point. So these lines, as you would say, these levels are delivered well before market open. You're more likely about to get them either just before the Asia session opens or right after the Asia session opens, and they don't change.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. BT, I'm taking along. 1 second. Give me 1 second. I am. 1 second.
All good.
All right.
I'm gonna take along and go crude. I'm okay with this. We'll do 2 to start.
I'm gonna come with you. Hold on.
Hold on. 2 to start.
Order filled.
I'm with you.
Good job. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Nice. Good job.
Oh wow.
So we'll.
You getting it at 75, 68, 67?
No, I got 78. My fill,
Nice. Yeah.
77.
Very nice.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
We'll see if I can hold this. Oh shit! Hold on 1 second. Gotta do it here too. We'll do and we'll go to. That's all you want, right? Yeah, I guess we'll go. I got 76.03 for the first target. We'll see if we get there. We should. We should with no problem. All right. Sorry, cut you off.
Oh, hey, all good. It's a beautiful entry. So hey, look, you gotta trade. You gotta trade.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. So.
All right, so BT, should I put a stop and profit or not?
I mean, no.
Just saying.
All right, let me do this.
Funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're gonna go, keep going.
Yep. So
push. We'll switch over in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
The reason I wanted to talk about crude is because I am doing crude, and I don't want to miss the charts.
All good. Look.
Right. 5:30. So if I look at my 5 minute, let's look at my 5 minute. It's looking good. All right, we gotta break this little area. This is live. Once we break this really opens up here. Speaking of levels, by the way, yes,
Oh,
I
nice.
agree.
We got all the way up to the freaking.
Yeah, so we have a little cluster of 76 just to break through, but once we do, I think we gonna get that run up, and we have time to go, which is fine. Today is Tuesday. Crude numbers will come out on Thursday, so we got fun times. And if you guys did not know, when there's a holiday, it gets pushed off to the next day. Instead of 7:30 Pacific time, it comes on half hours, so 7 a.m., which would be 10 Eastern for people. Any time I say, by the way, it's going to be based on Pacific, because that is where I'm located. I'm going to assume everybody knows how to convert times. So, comes out fucking 7 a.m. I do not trade the number. I do not care for the number. I've done too much analysis on it, and then I went to smarter people who actually trade on fundamentals and way bigger than me, and they have done all this research that the numbers don't mean shit. An API or EIA does mean something if you're a fundamental trader, but if you are a retail, you don't need to worry about it. You just need to not be in a trade during it. Don't try to analyze the numbers. But anyway, okay. 5 minutes. So we have new levels printing. Resistance is shorter. So yes, I can see 77.11 coming in today. Once we break this, and we are breaking. So let's see. There we go. We are going to break it actually. But once we get in, then we can keep going. And let me look at this. Gotta put this. There we go. This is beautiful. I'm so happy I entered this one. Yeah. So, just one thing I didn't do overnight. So we came in, we opened up below in a break and extend to the downside for 12B wise, and daily we didn't have it, but 12B we did because we went below this level. We met it today. Usually a break and extend is not that on 12B wise. Usually it's like 2. And we already had hit it, so we'll see. All right, I'm not gonna put a stop and profit. I'm just gonna let it be, but I am going to go way more over here. All right, let's manage this, then we'll go back. I do want to manage this somehow. If somebody did do this, I would put a stop and profit if you are a prop account. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Do whatever you want, but you know, everybody should be able to manage their own risk. My goal is to finish red today. Let's see if I fail.
It's a lofty goal.
I know, right? I went long and I thought I would lose. I think went in my favor.
Hey, that's what it's supposed to do, right? Look. I mean, you had this trade already set up from market open. It was ready to go. Like you were already long, waiting for this.
Yeah, but the problem is it's not easy to break this area.
All right.
But I am going to put.
I'm going 76.25 as my first scale point.
Okay.
I'm clicking away, trying to get there. Hold on.
All right, let's. You know what? It's a good one. So
Yeah.
we'll do that too. I'm gonna do that one there.
You're gonna front run me by.
I am. I'm gonna do a 24. we'll leave it there. We'll see. All right. Okay. Now let me look at the block, see if anybody did anything. What is today? Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I gotta see if anybody did anything. So we have gasoline. Let's do, which one did I do? Just crude oil, okay. We're doing futures only, obviously. All right, let's see. So somebody sold. Why is this so weird? 1 second. There you go. All right, we got some spreads coming in, and I'm looking for a specific person. So we got 250, but okay, no. I'm looking for TAS orders and spreads. So we got some spread right here.
Hey, Matthew.
So this guy, okay, so this guy is long, 2,000. He got 2,000 contracts long, $1.78. Let me look at that spread real quick. So he went long March 5 and then shorted K5, and he did 2,000 contracts. Pretty fucking good. What time did this happen? So this motherfucker did it at the open. All right.
Good Lord.
Now let's see if this was a closure. Usually you'll see the same numbers, but this is what I kind of look at. Okay, so it looks like a new trade because I don't see anything unless it was from before. I'll take it as a new trade. So 2,000. All right, now I'm gonna go to my trading view. The reason I do trading view is it's faster for me to pull up a spread. That's all. There's no ifs and buts. I just want to see that spread. That's all I'm doing. Just want to look at the spread, nothing more. Nothing more than that, right? All right, so we're gonna get a good push here. I watch spreads. I know a lot of people don't. I don't think BT does, but for crude, I have to. I have to look at the spread.
It's a part of your strategy, right?
No.
Oh. Well.
Yes and no. So there's particular spreads that lead. So right now the most important spread for me to watch is M minus Z, so which is June. It's a 6-month spread. So you go long June and you short Z, which is December.
Right.
But the best spread that I come to find is a 12-month spread, and these spreads are given to me by somebody else. I did not, synthetically create them, but like, oh, I should be looking at this. No, there's a reason. So in about 3 months, the December spread comes into play, which is Z25 for this year, the Z25 minus Z26. So you're going long 25 and you're shorting 26 same time. And that spread, for some fucking reason, whatever they do, it really, what's the word I'm looking for? It leads. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why is
Does.
trading view not working today? Okay, my trading view's not working. Okay, where's my fucking iPad? Do it on there. Before we continue, I need to look at it. I want to see what this guy did and why. Well, I know what he did, but I want to see what the fuck is up with 2000. Oh, and I gotta send this to somebody too. screenshot that.
Take a look at it. At copper. And that's taken off. That's looking good.
Alright, so now we gotta type this spread in real quick. Come on. CO. What was it? H. Where's the fuck is the minus sign? CLK 25. Oh, nice. This guy bought it at 604, $1.78. Yeah, okay. That's a really good. How do you get that price? Well, this is the time this came out, so it probably was right before. So he bought $1.78. He is actually break even right now, so this should fly. Because I did not see any exits of anything, and it's going to show up only here. Yeah, I think we're good. We got somebody who bought a bunch, and he's long, and he's $1.83. So yes, this should go up. This spread is actually pretty fucking good. Kind of buy it. Hold on one second. Let's see if I can buy it too. Where's my? First target, come on, come on, come on. Bam. First target hit. Alright. Let's see if we get the second target. I'm gonna put a stop and profit somewhere. Like right there. Just in case. First target hit.
Yeah, this has some nice momentum behind it. I like it.
Yeah, no, as soon as this guy exits, I'm gonna exit too. If he exits like right now, I would just say fuck it. So this person is buying. So there's a lot of buying going on.
Mm-hmm.
On the spread world. They're not that strong right now, but this spread is pretty. It's weak, but it got bought up. If that makes sense. If I'm looking at it, I wish I could share my iPad. Maybe another time. I have to figure that out. Actually, I couldn't I? I could share my fucking iPad.
You should be able to, yes.
I need to get the fucking link and download StreamYard, and then I'll be able to share and go like this right here. This is the reason. Oh, I'm glad you jumped in, BT. You still on?
Yes.
All right, perfect. I got a stop and profit for at 75.95. I took one off at 76.11.
No.
And then we'll continue. We got expansion 76.21, 27, which is great. It's fantastic actually. Let me see if I could I add to this? 92 has to hold for us to get to 1925. I'm hoping it doesn't get to me, but it's 17 ticks. If it gets to me, add it to this trade, which is fine. We'll see what happens. So I would like us to get to 76.03. So where are we at right now?
So all of this back and forth in the R2, ES still hasn't been able to break resistance. And,
It's taking a minute.
It's working on it slowly but surely.
I know. I think if it keeps trying and can't do it, I'm still thinking 30. That was a sharp buy off of the 40s, but I don't know. It's just not looking frothy. I mean, I'm not ready to short it at all, but.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let this be and see what happens.
Yeah.
And next week, this is like my first trading day, kind of real. God, I have a lot of time left, so.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You know what? It was a fantastic trade.
All right. I think we can switch screens.
Sure.
Now.
There you go.
Yeah, it's looking good. BT. Coming back. Coming back. It's going higher. You know, if you get to that 77, it's going to be like fantastic. I want to collect a minimum of 18 ticks, I think, just in case.
Well, I mean, certainly, if you look at the range chart on crude, we did hit the top of the acceleration band, and it held. I'm hoping that we don't get past 75.90 because that would bum me out a little bit. Ah, fuck
Yeah.
it. Excuse me.
Okay. Well, I am out of that trade for now. Who knows? I may be back.
Hey, there's always round two, you know.
Well, this was round two. Round one. Yeah. Round two. But not bad. 71 ticks for 2 trades. Not too shabby. I'm not mad about it. I'm happy about it. So, but because of that, I'm gonna do this.
Oh, good. You know, for crude, I'm actually looking to get a retest of that first support level, and that would provide me with a long entry.
Now I can go back to StreamYard. All right, I'm out of a trade. I do not, for me to re-enter. If we get back to that support where I entered, I will not be entering, if that makes sense. I will be waiting to see if we break down. I'm not willing to enter again in the same area, which is, you can see it. For me, this is zone 58 through 79. So this low navy blue box. Gap is gap 74. I think I already talked about what that is. But other than that, I will not be entering. If we get down in here, I will be just watching, But other than that, that's all I got. For now, we will be waiting. And let me switch on over. Where's your screen?
Oh, here we go. So I thought you wanted the screen back, but let me go ahead and reshare my screen. Here we
Actually,
go.
give me 2 minutes. Just gotta get some water and all that. Give me 2 minutes.
Yep, all good.
Okay, okay, I'm back. Did you share? Okay, see you. I'm at it.
All right. Yeah. So I went ahead and entered in to oil here. Now, am I expecting a
What's
crazy,
that number?
crazy? That is at 85.
Okay. All right, walk me through
Sure.
your trade setup.
Yeah. No problem. So this trade setup is using the trigger points again. We saw a break through the sup one level, or really it's a second support, but we came right back above it, and where the ellipse here is where we then treated this as support and continued back up to this.
Well, 1 second. Do me a favor. Can you make that chart bigger?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, there you go.
Awesome. So this is where, again, where we came way down below. Okay, we broke these support levels. All right, so sub zero and sub one. Why I would enter back at this sub zero level is because when we came back through the support one level, we treated it as support, as noted here. Then we came back up to the zero support level, where price for the most part runs between res zero and sub zero. So the first resistance and first support.
Mm-hmm.
So I am looking for price to break the near term highs up here. But again, because we then treated this first support level as support, I I am going to take this sub-zero level as support
Sub
because
zero.
yep. So that
Okay,
first support level.
got it. Yep.
So this is where I would want to enter long again. everyone has their own risk management. I I prefer at least a 1-to-1, like at a bare minimum,
Okay.
a
So
a a,
one
a
to
1-to-1.
one. For example, this is crude, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
1 to 1. So what's the take profit for you? Like, are you doing a 1 to 1 based on like a swing point, or like, hey, if the swing point is giving me 30 cents, I'm just gonna put my stop 30 cents. Is that what you mean, or do you have a fixed value that you just do no matter what?
So traditionally, I do a 40 tick stop loss and a 60 tick take profit. Again, oil can move much faster, and and therefore I rather keep it in line. I don't trade oil very often, and while I'm still really getting my bearings with oil.
So 40 tick stop loss, you said? 40
No, no,
ticks?
no. So that is my traditional. So
Oh,
when
okay.
I so when I'm trading the indices like NQ, ES, YM, R2Y, yes, because while those could run against you super quick, I want to make sure that I keep my risk, you know, tight.
Yeah, but for crude specifically, 40
So
ticks?
so for crude, I'm aiming at a minimum of 30, and I would like to see it go beyond. If we
Okay.
can get towards the highs up here, yes, I'll move my stop loss up, maybe a tick or two into profit, and then allow price to run and see where it takes us.
Is okay, got it.
So,
So
but
okay.
I
When did you enter?
so
On,
I
on that push that back down and you entered?
Yep,
Okay.
that is correct.
So we
So,
broke that level the first time
mhm,
at right over there. Then we came and consolidated, broke it, went up, and it came back down to retest.
correct.
So first touch technically didn't work. This is what is this considered? Second or third touch? Third touch?
Here, let me break it down into the 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go 1
yeah,
minute so we can see it. All right.
yeah. Let let me let my chart in Ninja Trader gather itself. It's been
You gotta
having a
leave Ninja
day,
Trader, by the way. You gotta leave Ninja Trader. You guys
and
gotta, you guys gotta get this to Sierra charts. I'm telling you, it's gonna be,
I
it flows so much better.
I was just about to say I used to actually trade on Volfix and Lightspeed,
Mm-hmm.
and and that was great. The super low latency was great,
Yeah.
but kind of hurts a little bit. So,
Yeah. All right, go for it.
all right,
This is the
cool.
1 minute.
So, yep. So again, here we have the first touch. Again, you're not netting a ton of points here.
No,
So
you're not. So
no,
first touch, when you say first touch, do you already have a order sitting? Because that's the only way you'll get them, really.
right,
Because you got to be quick.
exactly. So you would have to have an order sitting there, and 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 like I said, you'll have all these levels well before market open. Like you're gonna have
Yeah, I know.
the yeah. So that
So are the trades more accurate or more better to do it at the after the market open or prior to the open? What is the when do you start counting the first touch? Do you
so I
count it
s-
on the actual first touch since the print, or do you count it after? Hey, listen, doesn't matter what happens overnight. We count the first touch at the market open.
so I count as the first touch as a prince.
Okay.
So yeah, look, and like I said, these levels are not going to change throughout the day. They are where they are, and that's that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's
yeah,
awesome.
so again, the first touch here would not have gotten you many points,
Yeah,
but
and that's okay. Yeah, and
right,
that's okay. Today's a different type of day. So clearly today was not that support that worked out on a first touch as you would expect as normal, if that makes sense. So no, and that's
absolutely,
fine.
yeah, and the beauty about it is you can trade across several other instruments as well. So if I were to apply the same logic to the Nasdaq, to the S&P, the Dow, the Russell, copper, natural gas, it applies to all of them. Now,
Hmm.
the nuanced structure, as you mentioned early on, that is something to take into account. So while oil might now be treating this as support, and to be very clear, this is the entire zone. Oh my gosh, that I'm looking at.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So how many trades are you gonna do on average in a day, based off? Do you just do first touch and then you're done, or
no,
what is it for you?
no,
For you,
short.
not for anybody else.
Yep, right. And so what I do is I look for directionality. I like to take my steps to a higher time frame, and I like to then look for larger swings. So I want it. So on Nasdaq, I'm looking for 40 to 80 points. For things like oil, I may be looking for a couple dollars. Like
Okay,
like
so you're looking for a couple dollars on this move or no?
not on this move, as I want to demonstrate, how this actually works. But for me, when I'm gonna like trade oil, I want to take at least a couple dollars. But seeing as though we are downtrend for a bit, and as you mentioned, we're going to be in a downtrend for some time.
Um, y y yes and no. So okay,
Near
so
term.
so the things he talked about, fundamentally, yes, we are going to be, but it's going to take him some time, and he's going to have to pressure OPEC. Simple as that.
Right.
I've been trading crude oil for 12 years, and before futures, I used to be 100% crude oil trader. Like before after stocks, I just gravitated towards energy.
Hmm.
I am, I live in California, and I am pro oil everything. I had a wedding cake of a crude oil barrel that was leaking. So very, very big fan of crude. We will be in a downtrend. The problem is this can squeeze back to 80. That is
Hmm.
a real risk. If somebody says, "Oh shit, he's gonna drill, he's gonna do this, we're gonna go back to the 50s." Yeah, we are. But when is that pivot going to turn? You don't know, because right
Right.
now you can say, "Oh, it could be now." I'm like, yeah, it can, but this can squeeze you. How much are you willing to hold against you, if you are trying to do that? But if you're doing a day trades, then that should never be your thought. You should just be like, "Oh, okay, this could go, but maybe I should only look for shorts from particular levels, things like that." You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And longs, like for me, I'm not seeing a swing long. I'm just seeing day trade longs.
Yeah.
So a couple bucks is a reality. $4 is a reality, but it's not going to be that easy to get there, especially if a surprise comes out, and this could tank everything, or not. But
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not forecasting it. I am just betting on historical things that he's done before and what I think the party is going to do. And I think, and it has nothing to do with Trump. It has something to do with the party, because that's just their policy. They've been
Right.
doing it for so long. Every single time, no matter what, they want oil, and they want more of it. They want to use it. They want to drill, blah blah blah. And I am all for it. I am all for it. you know, um, I am all for it, because this is my first. I learned trading on crude oil and natural
Okay.
gas. So that's my first products I ever traded when it comes to real trading and shit is going to be crude
Hmm.
oil, believe it or not. So I love it. that's why I always like when people want to show something, I always say let's talk crude.
Yeah, you know what? And I'll be the first to say that I I don't have the in-depth knowledge that y'all do on crude. I will be the first to say that. But
It's
the
okay.
but
I'm just curious on how you trade and
yeah,
things like that. And is this a sim
absolutely.
trade, a eval trade? If it's for a prop firm, don't mention any retard ones. If it's for
I'm not
TFD, totally fine to talk about. If it's for a live account, just state what trade this is.
sure. So this is on eval account, and I can show you as to where my
No, it's
various
okay.
account
Yeah,
sits. Yeah.
you don't
So
have to state it. I just want to know that
yeah.
if anybody's watching, so they know
Hmm.
what this is. Um,
Yep.
all my shit's live. That's why.
Yep. I do have a live account that sits with TradeStation. So trading
Oh,
on
nice.
Ninja is not optimal for that.
No,
Now,
you can put
oh
indicators in
yeah,
TradeStation. You know that, right?
right,
Okay.
right, yeah. We just don't have these in TradeStation as of this moment. Now, there's a possibility for that down the line. So, I would actually like to talk about the futures desk. You know,
Go for it. You
y'all
want
have
me to talk
come.
about it, or are you asking
Oh,
me? Go ahead.
well, I just want to make a couple statements, and I actually had a couple questions to go along with it as well. But the futures desk, y'all have come into the space and made a huge name for yourselves, and this is awesome. You don't find many firms that have people who have actually traded, like actual live
Actual
accounts.
traders.
Yes, like people who actually know what they're talking about. Like when I listen to you and Blonde Trader speak about, fib clusters, spreads, and you're looking at actual trades in the differentials and contracts. That's not something you traditionally find in the prop firm space. So I really appreciate that y'all have brought that knowledge to the futures desk and have created a remarkable product.
Yeah. So both BT. So BT has way more experience than me. I'm 10, 12 years. She's 30. She ran a fund pre 2008, I believe. She trades private money. She trades for herself, live, and all that. She just recently
Hmm.
learned about online prop firms, FYI. If you ask her, I think it took her like 2 days to process all these sim payouts that people were getting. Um, you can, it's hilarious. I am from the world. I traded for a traditional prop, like a brick and
Hmm.
mortar prop, Kirshner to be exact. I traded for them before. I trade private money. I traded private money before traditional prop came into play. Um, and one thing people need to realize is online props are great and give you a lot of access. The big difference is you actually take home more. And one thing I want to say is like if you're a US trader, you have a great opportunity with TFD. Why? I look at everything based on taxes. All right.
Yep.
If you trade for another prop, you get paid W9. When I was with Kirshner, it was still W9. Um, to get K1 status, which is basically when you trade your personal account, you're paying 60/40. When you trade W9, you paid is it W9? Yeah, you're paid in W9. You pay taxes like out the ass on that. Nothing you can do about it. When you trade your personal account, basically you're paying 22%. Not a advice. This is just generalities what you pay for. If you have K1 with a prop firm, you essentially get the same treatment, essentially 60/40, so you get it's tax favorable for you. Traditional prop firms, like for Kirshner, for me to become K1 eligible, I would have to pay out myself to the company $250,000 just to get K1 status. Believe it or not. So TFD, what they ended up creating and figured it out is like, oh shit, you know what? We can bring a lot of value to traders if they trade for us, because what's the point of you trading with, I'm not going to name any, prop firm A and B and then TFD. A and B offer, everybody offers the same shit, right? Make this
Right.
much, here's the size, blah, blah, blah. You still get paid W-9. TFD says, well, what can we do to make you stay? What's the reason you should continue trading? Why not just take it, put it in a personal account, and then you get, better taxes? Well, TFD figured out how to get you K1. Once you make $10,000, not pay, but you actually make 10 grand profits for yourself, right? You are eligible to get K1 status. You don't have to do it, but you are. And that puts you in a bracket like, I don't need to pull all my money out. I can continue trading and still get the tax treatment. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And you get support and all this other shit that you get. You get access to me. What that means is once you are funded and you need help or want it, not requirement, but you want help and you say, hey, this is the break. This is what I look at. Let's figure out what my real expectancy is. So I'm able to break down your actual trade and tell you, let's see how you enter, what's your parameters. If I don't already have it in Sierra, I actually code it up, put it in, and I'm like, okay, so this is what you really are, should be getting, should expect, because you got that, $1,500 win on that one trade, and you keep trying to get that again, you're letting shit go against you, things like that, right? So
Right.
that's, I kind of help and guide on that part, but I'm not going to give you a strategy. It's not the reason. I'm helping you refine your strategy or help you develop more things like that. That's the only reason I'm here. But the K1 thing is like, people need to really think about it. If you're a US trader, I mean,
It's the Holy Grail.
It's the Holy Grail. Like, that's the only reason. Well, not the only reason. The other reason is I like the people that are behind it. I like Josh. He came from another prop. I like Brian. Brian used to be an officer, detective, things like that. So his morals are aligned with mine. Do the right thing. I like to sleep at night. I'm not going to name another firm, but I don't want to rip people off for, whatever. TFD is not shooting to be the cheapest. It's shooting to be the most quality, find quality people, and give you the most fairest pricing, because we can't give you $1 eval, right? There's gonna be giveaways, but we can't give you $1 eval. Why? We don't want you to lose. We want you to win. The more money you make, the more money your firm makes. You know what I mean? So that's the entire idea behind it. Is to do that. Is actually support people and the model is to align with traders. Align with you, not be the other side. It's hard to give. It's just like the models doesn't make sense. And the rug pulls that happen in the other firm and all that. Like, just the model, when you look at it, like no shit. Like, 1 + 1 is 2. They were doing, like, I don't know what math they were doing. I'm like, this literally told you from the beginning that you're gonna blow up eventually.
Right.
And the model we have is it's almost like impossible. Nothing is impossible, because we could have a black swan event and your stop gets skipped by 1,000 points. Who the fuck knows? So there's disclaimers there. There's obviously possibilities for all kinds of shit, but likely it's not going to happen, right?
Right.
So we want you to win. We want to help you. And I'll tell you this, if you are newer or if you are trading a smaller account, micro is the way to go. When I first started, I didn't have micros. I had no choice but to do full size.
You learn real quick.
Yeah, but keep in mind, we didn't have the big swings of like 80-point days. That wasn't normal. So when people talk about the books were thicker back then, I'm like, yeah, of course they were, because we were moving like 10 freaking points. We needed more size just to make some money. We were, going for smaller trades. Now it's just so much chill. I'm like, yes, we got room to run. It's beautiful. But yeah,
Right.
Anyway, so, that's a quick thing on TFD.
Yeah. Look, and
Yeah.
and y'all have a fantastic model. No, I would say TFD is one of the only firms that really asks a trader to prove themselves before they move on to a funded or live account. You're not passing these in one day. You're not just gonna YOLO the account. That's not something you can do without really hurting yourselves. And for those, like you said, oh, you had a 1,500 day. So let's say you hit max loss one day, or your daily loss one day. Most people are gonna try to get all that back in a single day. It's like no. This shows you like how to take your time getting out of drawdown, which is how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, a fantastic product. Really helped the trader build the good habits. And like you said, it's built by people who not only understand the prop trading industry, but who understand actual trading, who have traded at prop firms and funds. So that is huge for me.
Good. We're not entertainers. We're just profitable people.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm going to say my style of trading is boring. It just is. I think BT style trading is boring as well. Like, we just do the same crap over and over, no matter what. Even if we take everybody still will take a loss, and sometimes we go. Sometimes I do catch myself, and I know BT does too. We break our own rules. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Even though the short is from here, I'm gonna go ahead and start it now. But I'm gonna say this: when you are a smaller trader, you need to think more clear and don't have that thought that I just said. I'm gonna do it now, just in case. No, you can't do that when you have a smaller account. You have to be more patient. As you get bigger, feel free to bend rules and still have discipline where you don't just blow up your entire account. I do because I trade a slightly bigger account. I'm on TFD. I got the same rules as you guys. I did a smaller account. The only difference is there's no fucking difference. It's the same rules. I still gotta exit end of the day type deal. But you have to be very patient. You can become more relaxed as you get more money in it. Leverage is everything, right? If you are trading full-size minis, I mean, it's going to be harder for you to. You better be right. It's going to be harder for you to succeed when you have a couple $1,000 drawdown and you were doing a 1 NQ. Like, what are you doing? Like I get it. The money is great when you win, but it stings so much worse when you lose. And here's why. If I lose an NQ, it's not going to bother me, right? But if I had only a couple $1,000 of drawdown before my account is gone and I lose $300, I'm like, that's going to actually bother me. Not that it's like a lot of money, it could be, but it's like, oh shit, you know what? I just gave up two trades. I'm going to go ahead and give up 25% of my, or 15% of my account, depending how far you get into it. Once you lose $1,000, 50% of your account is gone, and that's going to sting. But if you did a MNQ, which exists for you guys, I mean, CME Group did amazing. Obviously, they're making hand over fist on these commissions, but it's the best product to trade on any of these online props. For TFD, yes, you may not pass in your 4 days that you want, or 5 days. It may take you 20 days, and that's okay. But you have to remember, you're in it for the long run. You're not in it for one payout or just to pass and see what happens, right? And if you do pass, don't change what the hell you're doing when you go live. Like, don't go like, okay, I'm live now, I can get paid, full port it. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You just made $3,000 to pass in last 20 days or a month, whatever. Continue it. Like, there should be no change at all on your sizing and none of that. If you passed on a luck, when you better downsize. If you know you passed, like, oh shit, you know what? I entered a full size and I passed. Let me go ahead and get smart. You know,
Absolutely.
I've done 7 different evals, or eight evals on different prop firms on purpose because somebody said this is bullshit. You trade, you know, you have a bigger account, you trade full size, of course you can make that money. Okay, so I went to 3 different firms. I went to an end of day firm, a live trailing, and another end of day. With their parameters, you know, I had a $2,000 and I did $50,000 accounts, which are not really 50,000 bucks, but that's what I did. And I passed them all, not copy trading. First try within 22 days of trading days, so within the first month cycle, all passed. I had to make about 3,000 bucks in all of them, and only one of them had 4,000 bucks, and I still passed. And max size was 1 to 3 lots, micros. It's all you need to do. It is all you need to do.
Hey, ladies, 25 is coming.
It is, and we actually just got out of the trade now. Should I have stayed in, or could I have? Yes, but I'm not. Thank you. But like I said, I'm not too confident in reading oil just yet.
It's okay.
But
don't say those words, man. Don't say you're not too confident.
Man. You know what? When I've been trading something for years and years and years, I started out with equities, bonds, and more fixed income.
Bonds? Ugh.
Yeah. I know. I know. I had a professor in college. He used to be a trader, and he was obsessed. And
that's why he became a professor.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You're not wrong. Like, I mean, look.
No, I gotta take that back. I have a lot of respect for, like, one of my best friends. His wife used to be my teacher in high school, and she thought I would be great with her husband, and that's how we met. And he's like one of my best friends and a client. Have, you know, whatever. But I have a lot of respect for actual teachers, not fucking online teachers. Like actual teachers who went to school and are smart and teach people shit. And not these 18-year-olds on fucking YouTube. I have no respect.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, and just a quick background on this professor. It was through the finance major, and the guy was awesome. Like, if you wanted to be in finance, you loved the class. If you really did not want to be in finance, it was hell on earth, because it was walking through how everything actually trades, and then you had to actually manage portfolios, balance them, and really come up with how to present your results. And when you have to face, like, hey, I have to present this to someone, like, here's how much money I lost you. That puts things in perspective, you know. Whereas that's where I learned to really study what I'm trading before I should start placing trades. And that's where, you know, I really got into more of the equities market, you know, trading not only the indices, but trading certain sectors. So I was very heavy in the tech sector, then would, on the flip side, trade healthcare and energy.
Healthcare, like bio stocks?
Healthcare, like your traditional companies like Johnson Johnson, United, Molina, and really look at
established companies, not the ones who are trying to push a drug and get FDA approvals and things like that. Got it.
Yeah. It was more to really get my feet wet. From there, move to options, which kicked my ass pretty quickly because I thought I knew what I was doing, but that was a different game completely.
Hey, if you ever have questions on options, guess who's good at it?
Huh?
BT.
You know what? I have no doubt about it.
She has option plays right now.
look, it is impressive, just having the education and the experience that y'all have and live trading with the futures desk. I like, if you're not already tuned in, you're missing out. Like, this is truly a gift for traders.
No, yeah, I think so. I mean, it's with the options too, though. It's difficult. I think that I don't think that you need to be like a crazy person with all the Greeks and stuff like that. But I think that, having a working knowledge and having some basic rules as to what type of play you're going to use, instead of just maybe straight buying, being long an option. I think that kind of getting creative and thinking about that is, part of the winning strategy, because you can be right on your direction, obviously, but if you don't know some of those little nuances, you're still going to be wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And full transparency, when I first started trading options, I was flying by the seat of my pants, and as most kids in college do.
Yeah, well, I think so. A lot of the things that I recommend for, like, even like my kids are learning and they're playing with options, and they have small accounts and stuff like that. So I always recommend to them, start with credit spreads.
Okay.
And because you're not going to, and what I do is when I look at a credit spread, I look at, if I'm risking, I want to make anywhere from like 7 to 10% of what the max risk on the spread would be, not meaning that that's what I'm going to risk or whatever. But so say I have a spread that's 5 wide and I can get, so it's a $500 risk. I'm not going to look at a spread that gives me less than, say, $50. Usually I'm going to go for 100 or whatever and go for 20%. But that's the kind of rule of thumb. When you're looking at, being long options, obviously, you don't obviously want to buy calls on a strong up day, and you don't want to just straight buy any options that have a high IV, and those are just basic, stupid little rules. Because if you are going into something like that, then there's other strategies that are much more appropriate. But I like the strategies where you're taking in premium, you're doing something for a credit, or you're doing something for free.
I like that. I like that approach.
So, yes. And that's, and I've been, kind of in Haas's room, kind of talking about like this. I do, every day I do 0 DTE SPX spreads.
Okay.
So that's kind of like a little bread and butter when I'm waiting for my setups, because I don't scalp. I need other stuff to kind of keep my day fill. And so I do those. I do them almost every day. Like I've already been in and out of 2 different call spreads for the morning. And,
wow.
And I'll do probably 2 or 3 more throughout the day. And I do, if I'm counter trend, I do 15 wide. If I'm with the trend, I'll go 20 wide on those. But, with those, you can take in, depending on what you are comfortable as far as your support and your resistance, you can take in, $400 or $500 every set that you do, every time that you do one. If you're doing like a single, like I do, like maybe I open with 3, I'll move up to 6 or 7. But it's not even necessary. You can do one at a time and just kind of, goal yourself every hour.
Right. You know what? Taking it slow and carefully monitoring your positions.
Yeah. Exactly.
I like that a lot, actually. You know what? Wow. You know what? That's something I'm definitely going to be looking into.
Yeah.
So, on average, how long are your plays, in the futures market? So I remember earlier on, Hours? Okay, great.
Can
Great.
be. None of our plays are like 10 seconds if you're looking for that. That's
Nah.
very, very rare if that happens. You know, like that will only happen if you enter and somehow the fucking big drop comes, like bam, like oh shit, close it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, very rare will that happen. Um, and but I don't know what everybody else's average is. Like my longest crude trade since December 1 was 6 days. um, I don't know what my average is. I mean, a couple hours is probably well. I'll hold it. Um, what is my average trade? I have to. You know what? I will. Since I started this stream, you know that I will have to take all of the intraday data and take out the swings and see what the actual average hold time is, because the swings puts my average at 11 hours, which is wrong, which is not the average. I'm gonna say a couple hours is my guess. I mean, how
Okay.
long have we been in the crude today? I don't even know. You know, BT's still in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, and I believe she got in when I got in. Remember that when I got in, and I when I got out on that sit and pullback, um,
Right.
she's still in. You know, so we're not crack addicts. You know, I think we're
Right.
trigger happy to enter, but not trigger happy to exit as much and re-enter. If that makes sense. We don't
Yeah.
really, we don't really go down the route of entering and re-entering right away. Very rare will that happen.
Look, y'all have an established strategy that you trust, you back tested, and as y'all said, y'all been doing this for
No, I didn't back
many
test
years.
shit. I forward tested. I'm kidding. I did back test it too.
I was about to say, like, huh? We're not back tested.
And I'm going to say this when it comes to back tests. Yes, back tests work okay. You can kind
Hmm.
of see if it holds up, but the true test is forward testing.
Right.
That's what I care. That's the numbers I care about more. Why? Because you can have a fantastic system, but you can not everybody can execute that particular system the exact same way. So you may find a system where I'm destroying it, meaning doing really well, and then because I'm entering it, you know, at the levels that makes you fucking question everything, like, oh, what kind of level is this? Why should I enter here? You know, because the chart says so, because my thing says, well, this is where your daily balance is, you better enter here. But on the other hand, you have nothing else that tells you that besides that. Some people were like, I can't do it, I can't enter right there. And that's, you know, a mental thing or whatever. So forward testing really helps. Is, you know, if you take a strategy and you see it like, okay, this is the rules behind it, let's see if I can actually do those rules. Some people can't. Some people are like, I can't do this, you know, and that's okay, you know. And there's some people like, oh, I can stand behind this because this actually makes sense in my head. Because you can go to, like, I can tell you right now, there could be somebody trading, I'm gonna talk shit on it again, order flow. I used to be an order flow trader. Does it work? Yes. Does it work well enough to the way I like it? No. Oh, Elliott Wave. That's a perfect one.
Oh yeah.
They could be an LA Wave trader that's really doing really well. You know, however the hell they're doing, whatever their method is. I have a theory on it, and they could be doing really well, and it sticks with them. And somebody else does the same thing, like this is the dumbest thing in the world. So then it doesn't stick with them, even though there's somebody that's profitable with it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it doesn't just, you know. However, I do think my strategy is way easier and more profitable than anything else because I can tell you exactly where you're fucking wrong. I don't like Elliott Wave, but you know, and I think a lot of strategies out there, it really comes down to what? Risk management. People don't give themselves credit. Like there's people who are profitable using whatever strategy, but it's not that strategy that's really making that money. Because if you really look at it and you break it down, it's not that great. It's okay. It's giving you basically a 50-50. It's really a coin flip. What really comes down is your actual risk management. You know
Hmm.
how to cut losers, and you know how to hold on to winners, which makes you a good trader. And people, for some reason, the ones who are profitable, they give credit to the strategy alone. I'm like, no, no, buddy, do you not realize how well you're doing in risk management? Because that's really what you're excelling at.
Right.
You can, and that particular person could probably go to a different strategy and do just as well because they know how to manage risk. So if you can master that, you can learn any strategy and you'll be just fine. But there's going to be some strategies that are just easier than others, but it still all comes down to risk. And that's very hard to train somebody because for some reason, I don't know why people, when they are losing, they'll hold on to hope. And when they're winning, they're like fearful. Like it doesn't make you should be scared when you're in a loss and hold on to hope. Like hopefully this goes $5. I'm gonna let it go. However, do I let things go forever? No, I don't, because obviously I like to put stop and profits. That's just my mind. It says protect this book and trade. BT, she can let shit run, forever. I think last year my longest swing was 6 weeks in ES, and that's only because the price never came back even close to my entry. I got a really good entry on a long, and it was in August, and it never came back. It was always 100 points away from my trail. I'm like, this is great, Now, if price came back to my entry, I would have collected a couple hundred points instead of the 1,000 points or something like that I got. So
Right.
Risk management is really key to. I don't give a shit what you're doing. I don't care what strategy you're doing. You could be random line theory. Just put a line right now on your chart and buy the breakout tomorrow of that random line. If you know how to do risk management, you'll be okay. Now, does that mean you're going to be profitable? No. It just means you won't blow up in a day or two. You'll just stay break even forever if you know how to do risk management. You still need a strategy, but risk management can keep you break even forever. And if you can do that, then you can find good setups and plays and take them. And I'm not a big fan of single product trading. I like to trade multiple things, but because I like to look at A's. If I trade one product, I look for every setup in the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if I trade 5 products, I'm just looking for those good setups that I know are really well, and I'm taking those levels all day long. That's how I like it. Now, does that mean I will take every A setup possible? No, I still have to catch it and see it. You'll miss trades trading multiple markets, but I try to make sure I don't miss shit on crude. If that makes sense.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to crude. Yes. but
Yeah.
but you know what? You bring up a very good point. Risk management. That's something that is missing from a lot of traders today, is the ability to let go of those losers, sit with that small loss, come back the next day, and rinse and repeat. You know what? If your setup presents itself, take it. If it doesn't, don't force it. But you could trade with virtually any strategy as long as you have great risk management. Like I said, to keep you break even for as long as you can really manage. But when that mentality decreases and goes away, that's when the real trouble starts. Because then instead of that $100, $150 loss, now you're taking $1,200 in drawdown in a single trade, rather than maybe getting stopped out with $60 in profit, waiting for the next setup.
Right. Yeah. The drawdown does matter, and so the thing is with losing trades, right? It's okay that you lose. You will lose. Everybody will take a loss. The most important thing is this: whatever that loss is, you want to make sure it does not alter your decision making on the next actual trade. All right. Like if you lose today, or if you lose right now, and your next trade, if you're thinking I gotta make that shit back I just lost, that's the dumbest fucking thought in the world. You need to get that shit out of your head, because you don't know if you're gonna make it back. You may lose again. But if you keep thinking, I gotta make the money back, you probably will lose again. Um, you have to be very, very patient and not think that way. But if you are losing on a trade and it alters your decision making on the next trade, you need to downsize. Simple as that. Because you cannot let a loss affect you. Because if it does, then you cannot trade rest of the day. Yeah,
Right.
like mentally, people will click that button and
Hmm.
fuck themselves. I'll be right back.
I feel like we could write a book on this. The proper mindset and way to not go completely broke
Yeah.
because of a couple bad trades. And I'm guilty of it too. You know what? I would say in the last 7 to 13, 14 months, I really got it together and started to be okay with sitting on a small loss or two,
Mm.
and walking away and realizing when I was going to get trigger happy after a loss, and once that happened, it was like, okay, shut everything down.
Yeah. Well, there's this thing for like a self-imposed. Like I know people that if they lose 3 trades in a row, regardless, they're out, they're done.
Right. I actually have a very similar rule where, regardless of any profit I have made, if I have 3 losing trades, I disconnect that entire service completely for
Right.
for the day. Now I could still be up, let's say a couple thousand, but
Mhm.
because my number of losses was reached that day, that's a hard and fast rule that I can't go against again. So
So a number of losses. So
Mhm.
here's how I count number of losses. There's 2 ways. There's a number of losses where you acted dumb, when you knew you shouldn't enter, and there's a number of losses where you did everything right, but it just happened to be a losing trade. You know what I mean? So like if I catch myself entering when I'm, like knowing I shouldn't enter, and if I lose on that trade, I'm gonna like pretty much be done because I'm like, oh, I'm already like doing dumb things right now, and it's hard to catch, but like, oh, because I did it wrong. But if I did everything right and I hit losses, then yeah, if I hit 3 or 4 in a row, I'm like, you know what, today's not my day. My setups are not working. Clearly, I'm out. But if I do a trade and I did a dumb trade where I broke every rule that I have, if I lose on that trade, I'm definitely done. Like I don't even continue. And there's days where that happens where I just say, F it, I'm just gonna enter. I try not to have those days, but those days will come. And I find this sometimes I did it when I was on stream, and then it took me a second to realize, like, you know what? I don't really care who's watching. I don't need to be in a trade just because you're watching. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's where that came from. Like, why am I entering in here? I don't even get it. This is the dumbest entry I've ever had.
You, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because when I first started doing live streams of trading, I thought I always had to take a trade, and then I realized, you know what? Whenever I feel like I have to take a trade, I have a really high probability of losing, and even if I do win, I'm stressed out, and that shouldn't happen. So
Yeah. Yep. And
not worth
so,
it.
what you guys were talking about on the risk management? I'm gonna tell you how I think of risk management. I
Okay.
think everybody else is wrong. I think I'm only right. because it's my account. Like, and at the end of it all, it's my account. It's not your account. It's not,
Mhm.
I'm the one putting my money on the line. It's, I'm the one getting paid or not getting paid. So when somebody tells me do this, do that, fucking everybody's wrong. I'm like, what do you know? You know. Now, that's where I'm at. Now, do I listen to other people? Few, maybe one or two. BT's one of them. But at the end of it all, I'm still going to execute on the risk I feel comfortable with. Does that make sense? I try to
Yes.
push out the comfort zone, but I'm still going to do what I'm comfortable with and slowly see how far I can push it without affecting anything I do. You know, um, that's how I look at everything. And then when I see people post some crap on Twitter, comments to me or whatever, I'm like, okay, so what? Half the time, by the way, I don't read everything. I don't reply to everything either. So I don't read everything. I'm too freaking lazy to read everybody's comments. Um, if I do, it's better if I'm in Discord or something like that, or live on Zoom or something like that. That's where I'll speak easier directly because I don't go out of my way to read. So if you're wondering why I'm not replying, is because I'm not looking to reply. I'm not even looking to read.
That's understandable. Okay.
I focus on my number one source of income, and that unfortunately happens to be actual trading. So I focus where my strength is, and it's just I do want to help everybody I can, but sometimes I miss a lot of messages, and that's because I'm just not reading them all. And if I'm gone for a week, I will not go back and catch up. Like, you have to hit me up again. Because it's so much. Like, I don't know how people do it. I give props to the TFD, to the rest of the TFD team, because they don't miss a beat. I am not support. So when people came to me when I was doing streams and they were just asking questions, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, this has to stop. Guess I have no idea. Go over there.
They know best. Okay. They have all the answers. They know
Yeah.
everything. Talk to
Yeah,
them.
Hey, kiddo, I'm holding the future Fed chairman.
Oh no,
She
that's
is
scary.
BT. She is 12 and a half pounds. Maybe 13 now. It's my daughter.
Oh, I'm like, are you talking about my weight? I'm like, what?
No. No, I said I'm
Dude,
holding the
tread
future
carefully.
Fed chairman.
Oh,
Wow.
did I get filled on crude yet? What's this? I did. Okay.
Good.
So now my next area for so now we have resistance at 46. That's going to be a little bit of a hurdle in crude. Oh my gosh. The upper part of the band is right there at 40. So I don't want to take one. You know what? I'm going to take one at 45, another one, and then I'm going to put a stop and just trail the remaining.
Solid. Okay.
Obviously, I don't have a stop in. I'm not very big on physically putting stops in, because in my mind I know kind of like where I'm no longer correct. So I do avoid doing that for the most part. If I'm gonna not be around, I'll put a stop, but I just don't like having them. It's just an old habit.
Hey,
If you don't have the discipline, then I recommend absolutely. But
yeah, if you don't have the discipline, you're gonna be screwed.
Oh,
Yeah.
royally. Like that's where that hopeful in a loss and fearful in profit really takes effect.
Gold is in a 4-hour break and extend. It definitely has room to continue like we discussed earlier, the next target up is, it's an overlap. It's a 4-hour/daily dynamic range overlap in the 64 to 65 area. Any break and extend on that is going to immediately target 74-ish. So like the first area that we are going to look for, maybe like a little, I'm not like interested in shorting gold at all, but what I will do is if we get up there and we look like we're going to pull back, I may sell a call or two just to participate in the pullback, but I'm not looking, I'm definitely bullish on gold, so there's not any reason to short it for me. But
Gold,
if
yeah.
I were going to short it, that's where I would try, is 64 to 65. I don't recommend it, but that's what I would do. And I have to say that because somebody somewhere will short it and say that I said to short it. So,
Oh, I can't stand that. Oh my gosh.
so I'm quantifying that now with, I am not shorting it. I don't recommend shorting it, but if you were going to shoot your shot, that would be the lowest risk area.
On gold, let's pull up gold. I'll pull up gold right now. Gold, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Another thing we can look at is maybe doing some gold.
You say gold?
If it pulls back, because it's actually looking really nice today. It's being respectful. It's not a hot mess like the ES is.
So I was hoping for the equities to sell today a little bit, but
Mhm.
they're not doing anything. Well, not that they're not doing anything. They're just not doing what I want them to do.
If we could pull back to like 52, 50 around there, we should look. Okay.
All right. Crude is struggle bus on the 76.25 over here. Let's see if this pulls back.
All right. So on a pullback on crude, 75.90. That's first pullback.
Right. Should we short crude now?
Meta still? Do we have what? How is that looking?
Are you in Meta?
We did an option play.
615 on Meta
We-
for February. We sold the 630. I'm pretty sure. I gotta look.
Oh, so right now we've got
Okay.
a debit spread on it. It's kind of it's a calendar really. We bought what did we buy? The 615?
615.
Bought the 615 calls. We sold the 20s against it last week, and then this week we rolled into a 630 against our 15 long. Where is it now? And on that note, it's got to hold 610 or gold is still chunking.
Yeah.
NQ is looking to break out a little bit out of this little congestion. For anybody that trades NQ. I hate NQ, and it actually looks really pretty.
I think it sent you a notification.
The NQ? Oh.
No, the
Okay.
Look at that. You know.
Yeah, we have an NQ sending you notifications.
NQ sending me a notification.
Inside over here.
Don't trade it, you stupid bitch. Yeah, it is breaking out of the little consolidation box on the 13-minute chart. It actually looks really nice. I don't see too much resistance until like a little bit of mini at 670, but overall this has the potential to run to 740.
Yeah. Yeah, and that looks about right to me. About the high of the Asia session.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, this is looking swell. It actually now the ES is just broken through that consolidation that it had in the 66 area, or it was like 65 to 66. It's solidly through right now. So what we want to see is follow through. We don't want to dip back into 65 at this point at all. We'd like to break through that 72, which was the last little pop that we had as a swing high on the 13-minute. So we want to see that break before we see a rollback to the 65 area. If we get that, then we can anticipate that we will make it to that 80 to 88 target.
Mm-hmm.
So on the sold,
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
it's trading at 220, so you're up 340 on it, and the other one we're back to just about flat.
All right. So what do you think if you rolled it down to 625? What was the additional premium? Now, what you got happening here is that we came in, we almost got to the high, and now we're starting to kind of pull back before really thrusting through 72. So if you're long, you want to start kind of trying to watch your stops here and watch, maybe bring them up a little bit, because you don't really want to get back to square one on this. This thing is driving me nuts. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because if you even look at the range chart, we're getting caught up at the band. And so it looks like as long as we hold, we're going to roll back to that 65. And
what are you talking about?
On the ES.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I was like 65.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And the thing that's starting to happen is momentum wise is that you're starting to get into overbought territory. We're not there yet, but if we're going to get cycle between overbought and oversold on the fast momentum, you want to see price participating in that. You don't want to see the momentum kind of starting to lead price, because it's just if momentum is going up without price, it's more of a bearish connotation, vice versa for bullish. If we start to cycle and become short-term oversold without any real selling pressure in price, it's construed as bullish. So I'm watching that here is that we're making, we're kind of at a double top area, but we're back to being overbought short term.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to really watch that 65, because now if we pull back to the 65, what will likely happen is you're probably going to exceed that and go lower. Whether you go back to 58 or whatever is debatable, but it's definitely a concern here because we can't seem to break through that 72. And as you can see, we're already trading at 68.5. So we're starting to get into that do or die situation.
Right. And if you look at the VIX, it's actually in decay. It's on a 4-hour breaking extend, a 12B breaking extend. It looks like it's gunning down towards 15.2, 15.6, which should pop that 70 if this doesn't reclaim.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of being patient and waiting and seeing. I don't say get out of your long. I'm just saying that you got to be a little bit aware of what's
happening
here and adjust accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, the VIX looks ready to break.
Yeah. Good reclaim here.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But I will take if we do get up to the 80 mark, I will take the first test of it for a quick sell.
What's quick for you?
Well, like 10 points, like.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to be like, out of everything we have heard, I'm like, quick is it like 2 hours, 6 hours?
So the thing is, like, the moving averages that I use them like they're like little rubber bands, and if price gravitates too far from them, like say we get full bodies that haven't touched any part of them, usually what'll happen is you'll get a snapback.
Right.
Because price, especially on the EMA 8, price loves to kind of like use it as a chair, so to speak. So when I see full bodies that start to print away from it without ever touching it, that's for me a place for a quick trade, because even if I got caught back at that moving average, it's still worth it to try to catch the trade. Like right now, we just had a new 4-hour bar open. We're 18 points off of that EMA 8, where every single bar prior to the one that we're in right now has had interaction with that moving average. And I can show you the chart. I mean, you can do it yourself. But every single bar that we've had this morning so far has had at some point an interaction with that EMA 8. So now that we've got the first bar that's come without anybody touching it, if we can get to that 81st is a logical place, because we have the 786 and the 1272 retracement plus the daily fib zone on the 13 and the 13-minute acceleration band all up there. So you've got a lot converging on that price. It would make sense that will hold at least for that pullback for that new 4-hour bar to come back down and test that moving average.
Wow.
We'll see if it's a theory. We'll see if it works.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say you're way better at moving edges than me. I'm just not as good with them, so I don't use any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't know. I don't know why. I know I see the exact thing, and I used to use a 13 EMA, but I like the trends off of an 8 or a 13. I do like the trends. Yeah,
I mean, when you have a good solid trend going, you're typically not gonna ever breach that 8.
Yeah.
But I'll post the chart.
What time frames do you like?
Well, I use it on everyone. Because I'm just a creature of habit. So I just, like, my charts have everything the same on them, with the exception of the fibs. I only do those on 4-hour.
Yeah. It would make sense to do it on every.
If you look, like, I'll post the chart in Discord, and you can take a look and see what I'm talking about. But you can see now how we're at this first bar, and it's not there's no body touching. So on my chart, that little red line at the bottom, that's the EMA 8, that first little red line that you can see price screwing around with.
Let me go on Discord
And
real
you can
quick.
see this is the first bar that's opened right now that has the opportunity to actually get to that 80 without having a body touch.
Got it?
Yeah. So it's very elementary. It's not a complicated, like I don't really, I mean, my charts may look complicated to people when they see all the dynamic ranges and stuff, but they're really not. And what I do is just so vanilla basic, moving averages and dual momentum. It's not anything fancy at all.
All right, so I'm gonna show you something. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this real quick just to see how well this does. Just 1 minute. Oh, hold on 1 second.
School first fucking day. Yeah, it's driving me nuts.
Sure.
No.
All right.
Oh, did it pop?
Yeah, it's up like $7.
Oh, thank God we didn't roll that call down.
I know.
So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna create a trend thing for the 8 because I'm doing nothing right now. Might as well. So what I'm gonna do is, you don't see this, but I'm adding a moving average study called moving averages, and I'm gonna do all EMAs, but I'm gonna put it on a 1 minute chart. So 8 times 5, so then I'm gonna do a 40 EMA on a 1 minute chart, which is a 8 EMA on a 5 minute. We'll do 15. So you just basically do 8 times 15, and that's right, 120. 15, and then we'll do a 30 minute, right?
Are you putting it on for all the different time frames?
Yeah, on one chart. So if I put it on a 1 minute chart, what I can do, and we'll do let's just do 6 hours, so 480. What I can do, so if you see this chart right now, each one is a different moving average. So we got it's all 8 EMAs, but for different time frames. So if you do like
why don't
40,
you, since if you're gonna look at that, make them the same color as mine.
Oh no, I'm gonna show you something cool, what I like. I'm gonna show you something really cool. So I'm gonna do this real quick. ID 2.
See, I don't change the time frame on my moving averages. I can put a weekly on my daily. I can put it on whatever time frame, but I leave them because I only observe where the daily is, and the moving average on the daily that I find is the snapback for deep pullbacks is the 34.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is what I used to do. So now I'm only coloring when price is above or below a moving average. So this is what I used to do. So I have this chart, right? And then what I'm gonna do on this particular chart is, you may like this or you may not, but I'm gonna go multi-time frame signals, and I'm gonna put this all the way up. All right, and I'm gonna hit that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say background, whatever, do it transparent, move to the right, yes. I don't like that fucking color, we'll do this, and we'll do that. So I'm gonna hit yes, yes. Hold on 1 second. And then I'm gonna go. So this will tell me anytime price is above a 8 EMA on these different time frames. So what I used to do is I would just say, let's just go. Well, I did it with 13. Right now I'm just doing 8 just because that's what you do. And this is what I used to do for a trend thing. This is my multi-time frame signal generator. You create your own signals, but you can bring them all in. And let's do a different blue. And let's make the grid black. All right, and what the fuck did I just do here? Not blue. All right, so I did that, and so this basically tells me is last price on 1 minute, 5 minutes. 1 second. This is what I used to do, and I don't know if I should continue doing this. I stopped because I got lazy. And then 60. All right. So this basically tells me with a quick view at the bottom is price above or below the 8 EMA on these different time frames without ever me looking at that chart. The best way is to use a 1 minute chart, and then you can take whatever moving average you want. So I want an 8 EMA on a 1 minute. Perfect. 8. If I want that same moving average, which most people don't know, this is simple math. Let's just say I want to know what the 8 EMA is on a 5 minute chart, but I don't want to look at the 5 minute chart. I just want to look at a 1 minute chart as an example. Well, all you got to do is 8 times 5, 40. So now you have to add a 40 EMA on your 1 minute chart. And that will give you a 8 EMA, which is on a 5 minute chart. In case you didn't know that. That's something a lot of people don't know actually. But that is the case. So now I can say at this point over here, this is NQ, we crossed the 8 EMA around on this push up, and then on the hourly we crossed it right here. So we're above the 8s in all these time frames as an example. We are right now below the 8 EMA on a 1 minute chart, technically. Last price should be, because that's the 8 EMA right there. So that's literally one way to do it. This is what I used to do, not look at them, but I used to do this and just kind of like see it all. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I used to do. Usually they don't all drop that quickly, but because when it's a big fat drop, it's gonna drop quickly. So that's what I used to do. But anyway, that's one way to get multiple things in here for yourself, and be like, I'm just gonna do that, you know. And then if you look at it, it really lines up with everything else. Like, okay, this, you know, there's a big build up here. It kind of makes sense. You know, this little build up obviously makes sense. Not everything went. You know what I mean? So you can pick and choose. To me, EMAs is also momentum. You know, it's really momentum. Well, the way I used to use it, I used to use it momentum based, not crossover crap. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. When people take a trigger of a crossover, you know, it's like, okay, good luck, you know. You know, but I've been there.
Right. I mean, look, as much as we want to say about it, we've all been in a similar place where it's like, oh yeah, wait for like 2 EMAs to cross, and then you get in and it snaps back the other way, and you're just sitting there like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. The higher the time frame, the better it is. The smaller
Right.
time frame, so people use these moving averages and everything else from all these different indicators. They use all these things on like 1 minute, and some moron comes in and tells me, like, you know, I like to go down 15 seconds. I'm like, what? You know, and then, you know, I just, you know, I don't mean to be a dick, but I don't waste my time when somebody tries to show me something and then show me a 15 seconds and then I know where they are in their journey. I'm like, listen, you need to stop that. Don't waste my time, because I'm telling you that's stupid. You can only come to me if you're very profitable and you say this, all I did is 15-second charts. I will listen to you. Till then, I have not found a single person that's killing it on 15-second charts, and I see that shit online all the time. I don't know what the hell's wrong with my algorithm. I clicked on one thing, and my algorithm on YouTube and everything, and did a for you shit on Twitter or X. It's just like the dumbest people. I'm like, what did I click on that ruined my feed?
Dude, I'm in the same position, but like, I don't know where I went wrong, but my Instagram feed is reprehensible. and and I look at it and I'm like, who
Oh,
posted this shit? Like,
I have nothing trading in Instagram. My Instagram feed is all babies, funny crap, things like that. All my trading stuff, so when it comes to social media, is YouTube and Twitter/X.
okay,
But on Instagram, I have travel stuff. Um, we travel, so the wife runs a travel page, and my personal page is just like I just watch shit for fun. But thank God I rarely get trading stuff. I'm like, oh, don't ever click on a trading thing. It'll ruin your feed.
look, you are lucky. Like, a, a lot of my stuff is, hey, I just made $100,000 in 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, let's see all 50 accounts traded at the same time. Um, and I think you mentioned this like at the very, 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 very beginning. Look, if you're trading 20 accounts like in one shot, I can't imagine the slippage you're gonna find because that is just ridiculous.
Well, I'll tell you why you have slippage. Okay, so most people use a copier that's
Hmm.
basically kind of study based that actually places a limit order on account number 19, and by the time it's filled, it's gone, blah, blah, blah. So you need to go different. You need to go DTC protocol, is what I have, where it only executes based on your actual exits. So you have to really use market orders on those further out stuff. Stop using the limit order. That's where big slippage comes in because
Right.
you're trying to get filled. Who cares about account number 19? You need to enter at market as the limit order that's being filled is your whatever your source is. And if you're copying, it better be market on the rest of them. It's going to be quicker, faster, low slippage, if not any slippage, but it's going to be very, very minimal versus trying to put a limit order 20 freaking times. Those other the end accounts will not get them, depending on the market, right? That won't get them as much. You'll get more slippage that way. But if you changed all that and you just did it at market on the other accounts, it'd be fine. So when you guys saw that trade on crude, I have my own copier that actually sends orders of what I do on this particular chart, or actually all my charts, to other accounts and replicates everything that I do with the different allocations. Um, and it ain't no damn weird limit orders, it's market orders. And I get the same
Right.
fill. Now, if I was doing 2,000 lots, be a different story.
Yeah, but that's 2,000 lots. Like, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
here,
different story. We're talking. You're anything under 100, you're fine. Once you get those stupid numbers, you know you're not worried about it. You're sending different orders, not sending a
yeah,
limit.
yeah, and you're not worried about the small slippage either.
Yeah, you don't even care.
My God, I can only imagine. Like you're trading 200 to 300 contracts. That sounds insane, but as y'all have seen, in the larger institutions or even on the institutional side, that's not uncommon.
Yeah,
But again, on the retail side, it's super cool to see it. It makes like a great like reel or story. But the reality of it is like that's some serious money to be putting behind it into a single trade.
right. Yeah, totally different type of trading. All
Yeah.
right, crude recovered here. It's going
Hmm.
higher. I am done trading on this account. I don't know if I'm gonna have any trades for the rest of the time. Any new trades? Hold on, somebody sent something. Okay, BT will be right back.
Yeah.
I just saw the message. Yeah, but yeah, so anyway, so this particular down here, that's pretty much what that is. But if you guys didn't know how to have let's just say you're trading on a 5 minute chart, but you really like your 8 email on 30, you can just say, you can just multiply it. essentially. Well, technically, if you want a five on a, if you want an 8 EMA as an example on a 30 on a 5 minute chart, you have to do 8 times 30, which is 240, and then divided by 5, which is 48. A 48 should be an 8 EMA on a 30, and a 48 EMA on a 5 minute chart should be the same value. You may be off by a tick, but that tick don't matter to me. This way, I don't have to run another chart to just develop a different EMA. Unless you're, that's if you're doing desktop stuff. If you're trading view or something web-based where you can tap into the server and get all the math done elsewhere, they do have multi-time frame averages we can pull without doing math. But if you have desktop like NinjaTrader, Sierra Charts, you can do that a little quick trick, how to get the same value just by doing some simple math. But yeah, I used to do that. So there you go. Now, in this particular case, it would tell me like, hey, just watch out. The 1 minute chart is down. Oh, look, the 60-minute chart broke, which makes sense. It's probably very, very close. And we may get a pullback here. We may not. Don't know. We'll see. See, slowly they're all turning. I believe I did it right. And it's not going to be all at the same time. Let's see. I want to make sure I did it all in order. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, we did. There you go. That's one quick way to have yourself a what do you call it? Multi-time frame signal.
I like it a lot. I really do. You know what? It's handy.
You can make all different kinds of signals. I just did a very simple one because you guys were talking about 8 EMA. So I just did signal. The only signal it's coloring, it's blue if last price, closing price, last price is above or below 8 EMA on these different time frames. But you can make all kinds of different signals. You can have one chart that's tracking some fucking EMA or SMA. One chart is tracking, I don't know, some Ichimoku cloud shit above, below, I don't know. Whatever the hell people think of.
You know what? If it's sunny outside, it lights up green. If it's raining outside, blue. Track the weather with it, and then have that be your indicator on to go long or short.
Yeah. Pretty much it, so you can do all kinds of stuff, but I like that multi-time frame because I just don't think people think of it as much.
Yeah, I think that multi-time frame is super important, especially when defining your trading style and like how long you want to be in the trade, how long do you want to wait for a potential setup to play out. I think people will go down onto like a lower time frame, like a 1 minute, 5 minute, and expect to be in a position for hours and hours and hours without having looked at the higher time frames.
Yeah, like so if I look at the higher time frame, the way I would use like this, like if I'm just, this is the most simple signal ever, above, below, right? If I'm using this, if everything is blue, I'm like, all right, you know what? The higher time frames are blue, blah blah blah. You know what that tells me? I'm going to be looking for longs. It doesn't tell me just go fucking long, because that's not my setup. Unless that is your setup, go for it. When everything turns blue, bam, hit it. You can try that out, see what it looks like. I don't know. I can probably run the stats and see it. But whatever your parameters are, you have to have some type of higher time frame analysis, some bias that you need to use or create. Don't have a bias based on a sentiment off of Twitter. Have a bias based on what you see. And if you're learning, figure out that the higher time frames are going to be the best things to look at. I look at a daily chart every day. I don't look at it all day. I look at it before we start. I'm like, all right, and here's the rest. And my levels are, they're the same level for the week, same level for the day, and same level for intraday, which updates twice a day. But I see all that shit before I go to bed. Everything is automated. I don't draw a damn thing. BT draws her fibs. I let her do it, and if she sees something, I'll listen. Other than that, I will not draw myself. I won't do a thing myself. I won't even attempt to learn it. That's how crazy it is because I trust her so much. I'm like, yeah, you go for it. I don't want to learn it.
If you say it
um,
works, I believe you. Like no questions asked.
yeah, and that's horrible advice, by the way.
Right.
That is horrible advice. But if you trade with someone, that's different.
Right.
So if you have a trading buddy and you do certain things, you guys can, have ideas back and forth. And, you can, I assume everybody has someone like that or not. But I assume if you do have one, that's what you would develop. You guys wouldn't both do the same thing, but like, oh well, maybe you would, but maybe somebody would have a better skill at something else versus blah blah blah. We can complement. That's what If you find that, great, go for it. You know, um, as long as it's not Elliot waves and was it what's the other one? Bats and crabs. I'm not a big.
Close.
I'm not.
Close.
I'm not a big Gartley. I'm not a big pattern trader. Like I'll tell you this, I've never traded Head and Shoulders or drawn it on my chart. I know about it, or bull flag and bear flag. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You go look for it. I don't want to do that. It's too subjective, and I don't feel like doing it. For me, if it can't be automated, it will not be done by me. I let somebody else do it. Now, there's multiple ways to make money, obviously. You
Right.
know, um, but I just find it if I can have automation, I can be more lazy because I can come to my chart minutes before and know exactly where I need to get in and get out, or where I'm wrong, I should say, where I need to get in specifically, and then be done with it. But I don't want to try to figure out what hell happened last night and yesterday. I'm like, I don't even care because it's the past. Who cares?
Right. Right. Right.
You
And
know, past don't matter. Ain't that right, kiddo? When it comes to trading.
so actually, I did have a question. Now, what are your thoughts on correlation between assets between instruments? So looking at the Nasdaq and the S&P, or the Dow and the
Well,
Russell.
I look at Nasdaq and S&P together.
Okay.
If I trade NQ, I'm looking at ES, and if I'm trading, yeah, I'll pull it up in a second. I'll explain why.
Mhm.
I didn't have any ES NQ trades today. Um, I will tomorrow. There you go, kiddo. You wanna lay down? You tired? Give me 1 second. 2 minutes, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. Just go ahead and take a peek at a 4 hour. Wow. It's damn near perfect. Right down to a support level.
Okay. So let's pull up NQ. So we have I'm showing NQ right here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So here's ES. So I'm gonna make this smaller so we can see both. All right. Um, so the way I do it is I'm looking. We gotta find a good example, but I'm looking to see if they're holding levels together. So the levels are pretty much the same. Not the same, but at 7 a.m. we dip into this zone, which is called PB for me. So over here, so if we look at that same time, if we look at that same time, so here it is. So 7:13, somewhere around here. ES held, right? ES held and went up, and you're looking at NQ just like piercing through. To me, ES will always lead. Don't care what anybody says. ES is the leader. ES is the parent of them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, can NQ sometimes start it before? Yes, it can, but to me, I think ES is the leader. Simple as that. And so ES held pretty much, even though this guy came and recovered at 7:27. You know, ES was already up. It's already recovering at 7. What time was this? 7:16. And so if we look at like 7, you know, we dropped into it. NQ is breaking this level. ES is not. So I'm waiting, you know, for this to really start. This would have been breaking too, because if ES is holding, I'm expecting NQ to always recover. 9 out of 10 times it's going to happen. In this case, it recovered. So even though if you're trading NQ, you need to be looking at this. And whatever levels you're using in NQ, you need to use the same method to develop the same type of levels on ES. And if you are NQ trader, which most fucking people are, that's why they're blowing up. Um, that's why they're blowing up. Um, you're looking at this. This is holding. Now you should be just looking for reasons to get long over here. As long as this is holding and you can tell, like, I mean, blind person. Oh, well, hold up. You guys can see this. Sorry about that. There you go. So let me, you know what? Let's do this. I'm just gonna make this chart like smaller so it can fit here. And we're just looking at here. So this is holding. So if we go like here, this broke in. This is breaking its level, its support level. There's a level right there. It's breaking. It's going below the zone, but this only entered the zone. And my rule is this: reclaim. We get in the zone, reclaim. It's long trades. I like the zones to come in, price to come out. There's longs over here, and price over here. Once you start reclaiming this, you have longs all day long to take as long as this keeps going. And in that case, it never came back. And NQ, you know, this is where we are.
Right.
So that's how I look at it. You know, whether you're trading NQ only, that's fine. Make sure you. Is that a short? Yep, there's a short coming up, which I'm gonna take. Hold on, kiddo. 1 second. 1 second, folks. I want to see if I need to short this. Give me a minute. So this is a possible short. I don't know if I want to take it. It's a short of a 30-minute. Don't think I'm going to take it. But yeah, anyway, so that's how I look at it. So whatever levels you have, however you derive them, you want to derive it the same way or in a very similar way. No, fuck that. In the same way. Because all my levels are derived the same exact way for ES and all equities. And then I use it like that. I think it's best to use ES and Q together. It'll make you a better NQ trader if you're watching ES. And if let's just say you have a key level, whatever your key level is, and ES is below and NQ is above, what do you think is going to happen? you're not going to have that clean trades. You got to wait till both are above, and then it's going to be so much easier for those longs. Same thing on the short side. But if one is above, one is below, they can be correlated, but the levels, they can be different. And then when one is above, one is below it, you're going to have a fight back and
Right.
forth. One is trying to go, one is trying to go this way. One still needs to break it. You know what I mean? One may come pull back. Who knows? Right? It could be all kinds of scenarios, but that's why I look at both. And when both are free and clear, I'm like, all right, should be an easy day. Easy time from, because we're both above as of right now or whatever. So that's why I look at both. If you're trading equities,
Mhm.
and if you're trading stocks, I don't know if many people do, but if you are a stock trader, you better be looking at the equity futures just to see what they're doing, because it's going to make your trading easier on the stocks.
Oh yeah.
If that's what you're looking for. But futures wise, you want to look at both and trade one, or maybe you trade both. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But you do yourself a disservice by just looking at ES or just looking at NQ by itself. You don't have to have all the charts up. Just have one chart up with the levels, and then
Right.
go for it. That's how my system is. My method is that way. It's like I know exactly where I'm wrong. I know where I'm right, and I know what product can help me. In crude oil spreads, I have the same exact levels how I get them, and to me spreads mean a lot. I like to look at spreads because if I see spreads are very weak, and flat price, meaning current price that everybody trades, right, is not,
Mhm.
I'm questionable. I'm like, yeah, they better fucking recover like right away, or this is it's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt. Not gonna
Right.
hurt, but I could struggle. You know, so that's essentially how I look at it. So that's what I do for crude. I look at spreads, calendar spreads, and I always talk about which ones I look at. I should probably make a PDF and explain which ones I look at, because one of them is I look at it for 6 months straight. That's all I do. I just look at the December spreads. I'm like, it's all I'm looking at, nothing else. Other people look at other things, and then I ask a particular fund, hey, what spreads are you guys looking at? What are you doing? Because there's some spreads that go out of whack, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck happened here?
Right.
Short this damn thing. You know what I mean? And then when you see what type of activity is going to take place in this spread, or what likely should, I can tell you what should happen in the current price. You know, um, because of what type of activity will take place.
Sure.
So, like last Thursday, I was showing it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take this trade, and here's the reason. And then I pulled up a weekly chart for a spread. I'm like, this doesn't happen. This is like an anomaly. Short. you know, and I got that tip from someone. I said, hey, take a look at this fucking spread. It's weird. Look at the weekly chart. I'm like, oh shit, let me look at it. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you. So it's nice to have some people that look at things in a very similar way. Like in my room, I refuse to have people that trade other things. I'm like, we don't all trade as similar or very like 99% the same. Everybody's gonna have nuances, but
Sure.
you can't come in the room and trade Elliott Wave with me. Fuck out of here.
Right. Right.
Go have another Elliott Wave room. You have, or if you're trading Al Brooks style, which is, patterns and all this shit that he does. Go trade that style with all kinds of people, because you guys will be talking about the same thing, same synergy. If
Right.
I'm doing balances and this makes 0 sense for you, this isn't for you. But you have to take one system and trust it fully. Really try it. If you try it for something for a week and you end up red for the week, it does not mean it doesn't work. It means you had shit fucking luck when you started.
Right.
Assuming you did everything, the proper way. Because there's times you try a new system and you know, you did wrong, but then in hindsight you go like, why the hell did I exit? Why did I even exit this? It was never even called for an exit. Sometimes fear makes you exit, you know, and you would have been right because you know you had a 5 tick stop instead of 10, whatever, you know.
Right.
So you have to really trust the system, do it properly, you know, don't over leverage so you can actually do the damn system properly. Um,
Properly, yes.
Test it. Forward testing is the best thing. Try sim mode first. Works, go live because you think differently when you're live. When you're sim, you don't really care. You're like, I don't even give a shit. You know, I'm not getting paid on this. I don't care. But when you put live money on it, you actually think about it. Like, should I
Right.
place this? You know, there's
Well,
thought behind there.
yeah,
You know,
and you kind of have to because, you know, at that point, you know, that is you really putting trust in the system, and like you said, you try it for a week or even a couple weeks and it's not working out well. Again, after how many trades, like 10, 15 trades, what about 100, 150, 200 trades? What would the results look like then?
yeah, yep. Need a lot of trades to tell you if you're doing bad or not.
Exactly.
You know, it's that simple. That simple, ain't that right, kiddo? Hey, kid, look at me. But yeah, so you're doing. Do you have any funded accounts or no?
Yep. Yep. So I'm just waiting on the live accounts from Funded Futures Network to come back, but have funded accounts with Take Profit and just building it slowly because I've done the whole route of, oh, let's make as much as possible and then you burn it in 2 or 3 days. It's not worth it. You know what? Take it slow. Start with one or two, and then really see where you have an edge. So
Right, makes sense.
that's yeah. So that's what I've been doing. Looking to take a payout here very soon, but again, you know, slow and steady, especially with the live accounts from Funded Futures Network. Just everything slow and steady, and then my TFD accounts, especially, you know what? Those really drill in to your head, slow and steady. Because if you're not slow and steady, you're just gonna keep pushing that profit target out so much further.
Well, let's go back. So the profit target. I don't know what account size you did, or you know, size wise, target wise. Let's just say if your target is $2,000, and if today you made $5,000, your target, and you know, so if it's $2,000 and you did, I don't know, 4 days, so what is that, 250 a day? Is what you kind of want, what you need to do for that, you know, wouldn't say the word consistency, but it is consistency in reality,
Right.
250 a day. But if you on day one, if you make $1,000, it your profit target, your next 3 days, you still need to have 250 a day. The extra 750 that you just made just gets added on top. It's not a recalculation like, oh, I got to push higher. No, you just have more days to be wrong now. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
it's a static account essentially, or whatever. And now you just have a bigger buffer. You know, you really just have a bigger buffer before you actually lose your account. If you happen to have, you know, one fantastic day, so you can actually let your trades run. You're still going to be required to make 250 a day, 4 days at least. But if you happen to have a big win on the first day or whatever, it's just a better buffer for you, so you have even more opportunity to be wrong, so you can pass. You know what I mean? So you don't have to close your trade at 250. Let it run. You know, let that shit run. You have a bigger buffer for yourself to pass. And obviously, when you're live, you better let that shit run
Absolutely.
because you're getting paid. Because it's your
Yeah.
brokerage account.
Yeah. While that is the case, I do see a large benefit of it adding to the profit target. It's a great thing for the other side of the coin, whereas if you're hitting that daily loss limit and then you're trying to shoot for the stars to get all the money back and some in a single day, it's a bad habit to have, because now you're more than likely going to over leverage to try to make up for one loss. Take it slow, in bite-sized pieces. You'll get there. Just keeping on. It's more of a check on your risk management. Just, hey, can you
I agree.
keep things more consistent, which is, something that I'm very happy that the futures desk takes into account and focuses on, because I feel that's a part that is missing from especially the prop space and the retail space. And when I speak about the prop space, I'm not talking like S&B, Belvedere, and T3 and those companies, but more so like the companies that are
No, I get it. Funded
Yeah.
firms. I call them
Yeah.
funded firms.
Yeah.
Online prop firm things, funded firms.
Thank you. Yes.
Non-salary props.
Right. so but there really is no emphasis on the trader side for risk management and really advancing in the trading journey, which, again, like I said, very, very happy that TFD does. So will always be a top firm of mine.
We see crude is going back.
Let's check it
If
out.
anybody took that short, the potential target is 75 now, but I'm not willing to entertain, so my support is gone. So where I entered from, we used to be blue. It actually is lower now, so it's telling me that, like I spoke earlier, hey, if we come back to that area, I'm not doing it. And at this particular moment, it shifted it lower.
Mm-hmm.
So it updated it, saying it's a no-go, bruh. Not right here. Where I was, which was great at the beginning earlier, but it's invalidated now for me. That level is gone.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see what happens, but that level's, it shifted to 75.01, and if we look at support, or not support, resistance shifted lower, and intraday, smaller shift resistance, but support went way lower. So that's a bearish shift. You know what I mean? So that's why I said I'm not doing it. Whenever the prints, and my prints come twice a day. But this was one of them at 46 minutes ago. So
Okay.
We'll see. Hi, kiddo. Hold on. I'll pick you up. Come here. So yeah. So we'll see if it fails and drags down. If it does, it does. Right now we're just sitting at basically, what is it? Yesterday's low / the half gap. So we got room to go down all the way down there. 75.40, 75.01, 74, 75 would be ridiculous, but
it could happen. That's
very much likely.
You know what? Well, one of the most beautiful things one of the most beautiful things about oil is it's very trend friendly. Like, you don't have a ton of noise. Like if you're just trading NQ, we have a lot of noise. you have a lot of retracements back and forth in intraday. Great. Oil, very steady, and you can usually tell when you're on the wrong side of a trade very quickly. Yeah, I mean, wow. Sometimes I find it super beneficial just to zoom out and be like, okay, look, am I really going with the trend, or am I just taking a pullback, an extended pullback?
Yeah, there's the trend is down, but there's nothing for me to do.
Hmm.
I'm already done, so I'm gonna call it
Yeah,
here in half hour and be done with it.
sound sounds good. I'm
Because this is sayonara. And tomorrow, for tomorrow's level, where are we printing? We're printing even lower. So if I show up tomorrow level, depending where we close and whatnot, actually no, we're printing the same. So if I pull up my 5-minute chart, price is to the right. If we close below here, we drop in tomorrow to 74. This is tomorrow's support, it's tomorrow's resistance. The resistance is even lower. However, if you break this tomorrow, 76.80, if you break it tomorrow, you have a chance to go to 79. And it can be ugly. So there's the risk is there. And yeah, and we're like in the middle, and I'm not willing to take a trade right now.
yeah, yeah. I'm very
I'll just let it play out.
Would you agree with one of the most important things a trader can learn is knowing when to walk away and when to close out the charts.
Yeah, after your targets are hit, feel free to leave, depending how long you do this. If you do this full time, I don't know, it really depends on your strategy. I'm majority of the time I am complete by 11 a.m., 10 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. After that, it's just kind of like watch and blah. Something happens by settlement time. Other than that, that's it. But yeah, you should walk away if you're losing. You have a rule, but most people don't do it. So, I'd rather lose today and trade again tomorrow and not lose even more today.
Right.
If you start off first 3 trades losing streak, just stop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's time to call it a day at that point.
Yeah. Yep.
A great lesson for
Yeah.
people to learn.
Yeah, I think next week, or maybe next week. Yeah, next week I'm probably gonna I'm gonna put on my ES bot that I have.
Hmm.
I'm gonna let that trade ES while I trade crude.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I run everything on Sierra charts. By the way, I used to have NinjaTrader, but it used to be NinjaTrader 7.
Wow.
Yeah, I had
Wow.
NinjaTrader 7. The only reason I left NinjaTrader is because when 8 came out, nobody wanted to switch, and then later, basically, they forced everybody, and I said, well, fuck all you guys.
Right.
Because you had to redo everything. I'm like, goodbye.
No. Look, like if
That's
I
what
had
it
to
was.
redo everything over again in NinjaTrader like 9, oh yeah, I mean I would switch platforms in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
Like
I'm out. This is before
Like,
they were a brokerage. This is way before. They used to be just a software. So I used to be with them a long, long time ago, before NinjaTrader was a thing. NinjaTrader 8, I mean.
right. Wow, you know what? That's dedication, though.
I'm like, I'm leaving. Yeah, I was like looking for a reason to leave.
Hey,
Give me a reason.
and they gave you one. You know what? They gave you a great one.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm pretty much done. I'm not gonna trade the rest of the day. Everything else is blah. I am probably gonna get on Zoom and finish up there. But
Yep.
other than
All
that,
set.
that's it. I mean, crude paid well, and equities did their thing, and I'm glad I ignored that NQ short because it looked like
Right.
it wasn't gonna work. But yeah, and I mean that's it. That's all I got.
Cool. You know what? Appreciate you having me on today. It's been
Yeah,
awesome.
I'll be on tomorrow. So if you want to hop on tomorrow, put on the prop account and trade it.
Absolutely, man.
You can pick your different target. I mean market.
Mhm.
Maybe not crude. Do a different one if you want. Whatever one's most comfortable.
Sure.
Whether it be ES or NQ, don't matter. Fuck, it can be freaking corn for all I care.
Man, that would be a sight, right? You know, it's like, hey, check this guy out. It's our first corn trader.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on, I gotta finish up these comments because somebody just fucking. Noticing the stream lately, just learning more about TFD. How long will the streams be going on? How long? When I get tired of it. Couple hours every day, pretty much. So I'll be on tomorrow. Panic. What do you mean panic? I'm just catching up. Where's the Quant side? Panic. How long? And then somebody says HHH. I'm not sure what HHH means.
Hold.
Curious what that means.
I'm back.
Oh, you're back. I was about to leave.
Oh, okay.
I was about to leave and switch to Zoom.
I'm multitasking, and so it's like because this streaming thing, my mic will not work on my desktop no matter what I do. Even when I give permission, blah blah, it just doesn't work. So I have to put it on my laptop, which is separate from where my charts are. So I'm like,
That sucks.
I'm like actually like swiveling around my desk like a crazy person. So it's like, all right, I'm getting like ADD in my brain, so I had to just.
What about Zoom?
That's fine because then I can do Zoom on the regular desktop, so I'm just looking in the same direction all the time.
All right, there you go. Let's just switch to Zoom.
All right, so yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll just cut this tomorrow. Yeah, we'll just cut this. We'll just switch to Zoom.
All right.
And I will see you in a couple minutes.
All right.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Deuces.